Guys, welcome to the masterclass video. This has been a long time in the making. I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. It's going to be my first video that we post on this YouTube channel where I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to grow a 6 to 7 figure personal brand. I'm very excited. I put together a whole entire as you guys can see, I have over 200 slides down here of just complete A to Z. We're going to be walking you down through every single thing I've been able to learn with growing personal brands and exactly how you can grow your own personal brand to a 6 to 7 figure business. So we're going to be going over this whole thing. I made this video specifically for what's worked for me, what's worked for my clients. I made sure I spent a long time making sure, redefining this, making sure this is the best possible thing that I can give to you guys. It's going to be a very long and an in-depth class, but I know for sure that it's going to be worth it because the people who do follow this, the people who implement this are going to completely transform and change their lives. They're going to change their businesses, and I'm very excited to share down that knowledge with you guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into the masterclass, guys. Very, very excited. Let's get straight into it. The title of today's video is how to turn your skill into a 6 to 7 figure personal brand. And what I'm here to tell you is that the skill that you have is worth a 6 to 7 figure business. What you're about to watch is the complete system to build it. Every single stage, every single step, all of my knowledge and resources in one place. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to build and exactly how to build it. That's my goal for today. It's the same exact system that's been able to help Ian and Evan Macklin. We started with them at $50 a month, and over the span of 12 months, we helped them reach over $300,000 in revenue. And with another one of my clients, Tessa, she started with an audience of 0, and then she was able to build over to 8 million plus views and over 35,000 followers in just 90 days. I spent a lot of time making sure that this is the most valuable thing you will ever watch on personal branding. After this, my goal for you is that you will no longer need to watch anything else, and I'm going to give you everything I possibly know. But before we start this, remember guys, this is not an entertainment video. It's not going to be entertaining. You're going to need to do a lot of implementation. You're going to be needing to do a lot of learning. So if you're here for that, this is not it. But if you want the results, please come prepared, sit down, take notes, and implement everything. Also forgot, guys, to let you know that there is a free document down below in the description. If you go ahead and click the link, I went ahead and made a free implementation document so you can follow along throughout this video and make sure that you implement all the steps that I'm teaching you guys, and that way you can actually watch the video and learn and implement and take notes. So please use that resource. I went ahead and made available for you. Let's get back to the video. Hope you guys enjoy. This is for you if you have a real skill and ready to go all in. If you're good at something and you actually want to build a personal brand. This is not for trend chasers. This is not for people looking for shortcuts on how to get viral views, how to get quick followers, how to get quick money. But if that's you, you're in the right place. If you have a real skill and you're ready and you understand that this is going to take a commitment, this is going to be a long game. We're here to make money. We're here to be leaders. We're here to build an impact with these people, and we're here to do it the right way. So here's exactly what you'll be walking away with today. The first thing we're going to go over is why your system is not working. Maybe you've posted content before, maybe you've never posted content before. We're going to be going over exactly why what you're currently doing, you're posting, you're positioning online, trying to sell something, trying to build influence is not currently working. That's the reason why you're on this video, and so we're here to fix that. Number 2 is going to be the system. We're going to go over all the 6 stages, the system that I built, and the complete breakdown A to Z on exactly how to build that. And then number 3, we're going to show you what's possible when the system runs for people just like you. So guys, I could explain the whole system to you right now, but I'd rather show you what it does first. Then you'll understand exactly why it works. This right here is Ian and Evan Macklin. These were actually my very first clients when I started social media. If you guys don't know, Ian and Evan Macklin, they're presidents of the Elliott Group with Andy Elliott. He's a big sales training guy. And so they were running this company. And so basically they needed help. They couldn't just manage and wanted to grow their social media because they knew how important it was. So they came to us. And so we were able to help them. As you see, we started with them at $50 a month, and we brought them over to $300,000 in under 12 months. As you see, their YouTube channel right here, it started at 94 subscribers, got them over to 10,000 subscribers, and then their social media is to like 97,000 followers, almost hit 100K. And so they've been able to network with people like David Goggins, as you guys see right here, Andy Frisella, another very cool guy, Russell Brunson, and then Patrick Bet-David. So very, very cool guys, high-level entrepreneurs, high-level world-class people that they were able to meet having a personal brand and with having influence. So here's what we actually fixed. We fixed 4 stages in their system, and I'm gonna show you exactly what we built. So first was the stage 1, the foundation, the very first thing. So we locked in their positioning and built a profile that actually converted. This is the very, very first step with actually fixing and transforming and making your brand an actual business. Next, stage 2, the content system. We built a content system that took people from not knowing who they were to buying from them. Then we went over stage 3, distribution. We built a posting system that grew them past 100,000 followers. And then stage 4, conversion. We built the sales system that turned their audience into consistent revenue. But see guys, their problem was never their skill. Before working with us, they had all the skill, they had all of the knowledge, nothing changed there. But it was all around the system, around how they actually started to post content. It was around the system on their positioning. It was a system on how they actually presented themselves online that made the huge difference, that allowed them to make over $300,000 in 12 months, that allowed them to grow over 100,000 followers in a year. Like, all this stuff is very, very important. It's a system. It's not your skill. It's not what you're good at. You just need to know. You just don't know what you don't know, you know? And so I'm here to pass that down with you guys. So this was amazing what we did with Ian and Evan, but now let me show you exactly how I got here and how I got to this position to be able to help business owners like you. At the age of 14, I started selling sneakers from my closet. As you guys see right here, if I zoom in, that's me at a sneaker meetup. I was living in California at the time. That's where I grew up. And so I started selling shoes at the age of 14. And then by the age of 15, I grew 70,000 followers. As you guys see, Soto Kicks right here. This was my, my sneaker reselling page. Where I first basically learned how to become an entrepreneur and learned all about business, about social media. And so I grew to 70,000 followers. I had around $10,000 in the bank at the age of 15, which was absolutely insane. All glory to God that he's been able to help me along this journey, and very, very grateful. And so then at the age of 17, right, I was still selling shoes. I was still doing that. But at the age of 17, the market shifted and I had to get a 9-to-5 job. I was doing everything I could, I remember, to try to continue sneaker reselling. I didn't want to do a 9-to-5 job. I knew that I had a true passion for my business, and I had a true passion for what I was doing. And so I was trying to make as much money as possible with my business, so that way I didn't have to go work a job. But I mean, it just didn't end that way. I wasn't making the money I was having to make, so I needed to go work at a burger spot. And so I was working at a burger spot for, honestly, I think it was a couple months, maybe 3 months, around there. And then after that, I got an opportunity to work with Ian and Evan Macklin, with the twins, which is the guys that I just showed you previously. And after that, I started social media and it transformed my life. And so 3 years ago, I quit the 9-to-5 and I locked in. But after 3 years building brands across multiple industries, one pattern emerged. Every coach was missing the same thing. I was working with people that did plumbing. I was working with people in health. I was working with people in sales. I was working with people in like leadership. I was working with people like alcohol and recovery. I was working with people in AI, like all these different types of industries. But one pattern emerged throughout all these industries. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Every coach was missing the same thing, and it was a system holding everything together. And that's when I created the system that I call the brain conversion system. So guys, this is how the brain conversion system works. It goes over 6 stages that work together as one complete system. You need every single one of these stages in order to actually turn your skill into a business, turn it into a profitable personal brand. The very first one is the foundation, then it goes content, then it goes production, then it goes distribution, conversion, and authority. So we're gonna go over all of these stages in very, very, very depth. So the very first stage is going to be the foundation, guys. I want to let you guys know that this is the part that everybody skips. I guarantee you, everybody skips this part. I've seen it multiple times. We're going to go over exactly who you are. This is going to be your story, your values, and your mission. We're going to be going over your expertise. This is going to be your niche, your ICP, and your offer. We're going to be going over your unique POV, what makes you stand out and what makes you different. Defining your buyer, who they are, what they want, and what stops them. And then last, we're going to go over the profile optimization. We're going to go over your username. We're going to go over your profile picture, your bio, your mechanism name, your highlights, and your pin post. So the stage 1 is packed with value. This is the most important stage out of the whole section. So if you guys can really pay attention. So most coaches skip the most important question. They jump straight into posting, obviously because it's the most flashy thing. You're like, okay, cool. I want to build a personal brand. What am I going to post? What trends am I going to follow? But without ever just stopping to ask, right? Who am I? What do you stand for? What are you actually building? You never ask yourself these questions because you're so focused on what all these other people are doing, and you don't actually sit down and actually figure out Who am I? What am I going to do? What am I going to do to stand out? And that's why their content feels like everyone else. So the very first thing I want you to figure out is exactly who are you? This is a question that, if you ask yourself, you probably don't even know who you are. So this is not your niche. This is not your offer. This is not your follower count, but this is your values. This is your beliefs. This is what you stand for and what you won't tolerate. When you know this, everything you post starts to feel like you. Here are mine. Here's my example of mine. Number one, be authentic. Be exactly who you are online and offline. So I want to make sure that I'm very authentically as possible with my content, with myself, and with my word. Number two is staying faithful. I understand that God controls the outcomes and I control the inputs, regardless of who's watching me. I understand that if I do the work that must be done, I do not need to worry about the outcomes because I understand that that is already taken care of. I must only follow what I must currently do. I must follow the inputs and the inputs and the inputs. I must only focus on only the things that you can control, and the things that are outside of your control, do not control them because they will control you. So that is my number two thing that I live by. Number three is take ownership. Everything is a choice and your results reflect your decisions. So I always take ownership for everything that I do. Number four is be unique. Never blend in. Your story is your greatest asset. And number five is serve with a purpose. I believe that if I help people win, that is how I win. So this took me years to understand, but once I did and I wrote these down and I understood exactly who I stood for, who I actually am, my core values, my core beliefs, everything changed. All right, guys, so here are 3 questions I want you to ask honestly. But before we get into these, I want to let you guys know that if you guys go ahead and click the link in the description, I went ahead and put a link to a free document, guys, right here that you guys can follow throughout this video. It's called the Brand Conversion System Free Implementation Guide. This is a free system and guide that you guys can implement and follow with me along this video. If you go ahead and click the link in the description, follow these rules. You just need to make a copy so that way you can go ahead and type on it and do what you need to do. Here are the 3 questions I want you guys to answer honestly. The very first one is, what are your 3 to 5 core values? What are the things that drive every single decision you make? You're gonna need to sit down and figure out, okay, write a piece of paper, really sit down and reflect and figure out, okay, what are these things that make me me? What do you stand for publicly, even if people push back? What will you never compromise on no matter what? These are the things that you find out about yourselves that, right, nobody else can replicate because you understand that these are what make you you. So I want you guys to pull up the free doc right now. I want you to pause the video and fill out the doc before moving forward. It's very easy questions, guys. Please make sure to fill that out. Please make sure that we're following in order, because if we don't make this in order, like I said, this is the most important stage. We need to make sure that we're following this in order to get the results that we want to achieve. So knowing exactly who you are, that's the very first layer to the foundation, stage 1. But now let's talk about owning what you know. That's a completely different thing where we're going to talk about that now. Most coaches make one of 2 mistakes. First, they claim expertise they haven't earned yet. This means they haven't earned the right to actually teach what they are actually wanting to teach. And then second, they have real expertise, but they don't own it. They are good at what they do, but they just don't have the confidence to show up online to actually own what they know and actually express that to the world and help people. So both kill your brand before it ever starts. Real expertise, guys, remember, isn't a credential. It isn't something, a label or any of that of like, oh, wow, this dude has a certificate for this. He has real expertise. No, it's lived experience nobody else has. Everyone has a different story. This is why it's very, very unique to understand this and own what you know, because it's what makes you you. This isn't about what you're good at. It's about what you've earned the right to teach, the things you've lived through, the problems you've personally solved, the results you've produced for others or yourself. Nobody can replicate your exact path. That is your expertise. So here's mine, for example. I reached 70,000 followers at 15 years old. I took that skill and spent the next 3 years building brands across multiple industries. I help clients generate millions of views, 6 to 7 figure online businesses, and help them build an audience that brings in inbound leads every single day using the exact system I'm teaching you right now. So that's not a credential. That's not something that like I got. That's a lived experience that nobody else has that I've been able to teach based on my experience and what's happened in my life. So now let's find yours. So I want you to complete this sentence right here. I have earned the right to teach XYZ topic. Whatever the topic that you teach or whatever the topic that you want to be known for is what you're going to put right there. Because I have personally and then you're going to insert your proof. So for example, mine, I have earned the right to teach personal branding because I have personally, exactly what I went through on the last slide, I've been able to help all these industries. I've been able to do this over 3 years, generate millions of followers, millions of views. So that's what I've been able to do. But I want you to think about what you have lived, what you have built, what you have overcome, what results have you produced for yourself or others. Maybe you're new to personal branding. Maybe you have a skill, but you don't necessarily have the audience to do so, or maybe you don't have the client results and all this, what all these other people have. But all you need to do is have a transformation for yourself. And if you have enough conviction, if you have enough belief in yourself, then people will buy from you if they like you. People will buy from you if you truly understand that you can make a change. If you made a change for yourself, you can make a change for others. So maybe you're like a fitness coach and maybe you've earned the right to teach fitness because I have personally, maybe you didn't transform a lot of these people, but you have personally transformed yourself. So I want you guys to pull up the free doc right now, write your sentences out, and this becomes the backbone of everything you say on camera, on your sales calls, and every single piece of content that you make. And so this is very, very important because this is going to allow you to get that, foundation set and understand exactly, okay, now I know why I teach. So now that we know your expertise, let's talk about what exactly you stand for, because expertise tells them what you know, but your point of view tells them why they should listen to you in the first place. The coaching space has never been more crowded. Every single coach sounds exactly the same nowadays. If you pull up on Instagram, I could go on my reels and I can find like 5 coaches that sound exact the same. They talk about the same topics, the same advice, the same content. There's no differentiation in what they do. There's no identity in what they do. Everyone looks the same. And so nothing that makes someone stop and say like, wow, this person is different. Like, okay, that dude's talking about this perspective. That dude's talking about that. I like his story. I like this. I like how he's inviting into what he's actually doing and not just talking about, his business and stuff. He's actually giving insights on his life and what he does. Like, wow, I'm actually building a relationship with him here. And so this is something I really want you guys to get. The amount of videos you post does not make you stand out. I can post 100 videos. I can post 200, 300, thousands of videos. That doesn't make me stand out. The thing that makes you stand out is your perspective. The thing that makes you stand out is you. The thing that makes you stand out is your identity. Your unique POV is the one belief about your industry you are willing to stand behind no matter what. So it's what makes people stop and think, wait, I never looked at it that way. It comes from your experience. It comes from your failures. It comes from your results and the things that you've seen that others haven't. This is not an opinion you might change, but it's a belief instead that you would defend no matter who is in the room. So here's mine. Your personal brand isn't a content problem. It's a relationship problem. Most coaches think they need better hooks, better edits, more trends, but the coaches who actually convert aren't posting more, they're connecting more. So here's exactly how to find yours. Number 1, you want to find out what does your industry constantly overlook. So for example, mine was they constantly overlook, they think everything is a content problem and they overlook relationships completely in leadership. And so that's when I immediately was like, okay, cool, that's what I'm gonna stick by. That's what's gonna be my unique POV. What do you believe about your space that you are willing to stand behind no matter what? Number 3, complete this sentence. Most people believe X. I believe Y because of XYB proof. So for example, most people believe content, social media is a content problem, but I believe it's a relationship, a leadership problem because of the XYZ proof that I've been able to help these people. And so that last sentence is your unique POV, and that is what your entire brand gets built around. That is your foundation. That is what you stand by. So I want you guys to pull up the free doc right now and write that out. Figure that out for yourself and figure out your unique POV, because once you figure this out, your whole content is going to change. Now that you know what you stand for, let's talk about who you stand for. You see, most coaches pick their audience based on one thing. Who can I make the most money from? That's the wrong question to ask, and it's exactly why their content never connects with the right people. When you build for the wrong person, everything feels harder than it should. But everything starts with finding the right person. You must first figure out exactly who is my target audience that I want to sell to, who is my target audience that I want to talk to, who is the target audience that I want to speak to and that is going to relate with me the most. So the better question to ask instead of, okay, who am I going to make the most money from, is these 4 questions. Who can I help the most? Figure out who can I help the most. Number 2, who do I have the most fun working with? Number 3, who do I want to pour everything into? Who do I want to give all my value to? Who do I want to give all my resources and knowledge that I've been able to accumulate to? Who do you want to be known for building? Who do you want to help? You show up differently and your clients feel it and your results reflect it when you truly are passionate and you understand exactly your buyer, you understand exactly who you're doing this for, you understand who you help the most, you understand who you have the most fun working with. Because imagine if you're working with people who you don't have any fun working with, your energy goes down, your motivation goes down, it drains your energy instead of building up your energy. And that is how you're going to be able to find the most fulfillment, is with working with the people that you truly want to work with. Because at the end of the day, guys, the money is just a byproduct of what you're doing. But if you truly enjoy and you have a passion for what you're doing, and let's say you could take on 1,000 clients for the specific buyer, and you can make all the money in the world because that's a byproduct of what you're doing. But instead, you chase the money and you're working with clients that you don't want to work with, and it's making you miserable, it's defeating into your energy, it's defeating into your mental work, it's defeating into everything that you're doing in your life. It's going to corrupt you because it's just money, and that's the thing that you're chasing. And then eventually you're going to burn out and you're not going to want to be making the money. So it's always very important to figure out the buyers that you want to work with. It's very important to figure out who exactly you want to work with, so that way you're able to make the most amount of money as possible. You want to show up differently. Your clients feel it. Everyone feels it throughout the screen, whether or not you truly want to work with the people and you really want to help the people that you're saying that you want to help. So the right person makes everything way easier. So here's mine, for example. Who do I help? It's anyone with a skill who wants to build a personal brand that generates consistent clients and online income. And then before, what were they doing? They were posting inconsistently. They were getting little to no traction. Their expertise was going unnoticed, and maybe they were not posting at all. What they want to be recognized as the authority in their space, and they want clients to come to them, and they want to build an actual business. And what stops them? They have no system. They're guessing on content. They don't know how to actually turn their skill into a brand, and they have no guidance on what to do and what to post and why. And so what they fear, they fear having real value to give and nobody knowing they exist, feeling like they're invisible, and they're posting all these things and nobody ever hears about them and making no money. But that's the one person that I help and who every single piece of my content is created for. So now let's help define yours. So here's how you're going to find yours. Number one is, first you need to figure out who is that exact person you are built to serve. Number two is before. What does their life look like before finding you? Number three, what do they want? What outcome are they chasing in life? Number four, what stops them? What is standing between them and that outcome? Number five is what they fear. What are they most afraid of that's not allowing them to get the results that they want to get? So I want you guys to pull up the free doc. I want you guys to fill this out completely. Do not move forward until you have one of these specific persons in your mind. I want you guys to fully understand this and get this inside of this document written down on paper. So that way you guys 100% understand who you're making your content for. Because if you're going to be posting content and you don't know who you're posting content for, then you're walking blindly. You need to figure this stuff out first before you post content. So the more specific you are right now, the better. But this is a starting point, and it will evolve as you grow. You're probably not going to 100% know exactly, right, oh, this is my perfect person that I'm going to know and have and all this. Guys, it's going to change over time. It's going to change as you're posting content. All of it is data. As you start to post content, you'll see, okay, it's resonating with this person, it's resonating with this person, but you just need to get data. Just get it written out on paper right now, and it'll work and grow as you go. So now we're going to move into the fifth step, which is the profile optimization layer. This is the fun part. So profile optimization, guys, think of your profile as your storefront. Think of it as like your resume. So when people start to scroll online and they see my profile, this is how, if I were to get a job or anything, this is how people would qualify me. This is how people see, okay, do I want to follow this guy? Do I want to like this guy's post? Do I want to, continue following this guy? Do I want to engage? Do I want to possibly buy something? This is why it's so important to have your profile optimized, because without it, no one's going to want to follow you. No one's going to want to follow you on your leadership role, on where you're going to take them, because your storefront isn't optimized. So most coaches treat their profile as an afterthought. They think, okay, I'm just going to post content and my profile is just like whatever. And they film the content, they post it, it gets the views, and wonder why no one's following and reaching out. It's exactly why, is because of your profile. It's not optimized. And so your profile is a bridge between attention and trust. So you can get all the attention that you want, but if they don't trust you in your profile and they're like, okay, I don't want to hire this guy, or I don't want to follow this guy, then the bridge is broken. So that's why it's so important to have your profile optimized. So let's go over like what most profiles look like, which is versus like a good profile and what it looks like. If we take a look at this, guys, no backlash and no hate to any of these guys. These are random guys that I post that I found on Instagram that I was scrolling to just try to find for this example. If we take a look at this guy right here, his name is Tethy. And so the first thing that I seen in here, so I was like, okay, cool, Tethy. All right, he does high ticket sales. He has 2,500 followers. Cool. Profile picture is him in front of a Ferrari. No BS sales, $3 million collected, free training. Okay, cool. Numbers, results, travel, food, motivation. and I see a bunch of like friend pictures in here. I'm like, okay, cool. Like this dude seems like a friend. I don't really necessarily know how he can help me, but yeah, so that's when I seen first thing is in the bio. He has no clarity on who he helps, and nobody knows in the first 3 seconds. His profile picture, the car is the subject, not the person. Nobody knows who you are. So if you take a look at these 2 pictures, I mean, this guy's profile picture is straight to his face, but I mean, if you see this, guys, the whole car is the main subject of this profile picture. Always make sure you're the main subject, not the car, not the thing that you're, whatever is in your background. It doesn't have to be a car or anything, but you want to make sure that you're the main face of the subject. For example, his face is the main subject, not the buildings around him. And then highlights, as I was seeing, right, he has numbers, results, travel, food, motivation. It seems like a friend account, not a business account. As a guy who wants to like purchase something and build a relationship, like the food isn't really going to do anything. Like we want to be tactical with everything that we want to do and put on here on our profile. The next thing is the pinned post. He has no authority, no value, no proof. It's just pure lifestyle on what he posts on here. So for example, like he has a pin post right here with him, his friend, and then he has another one with his friend right here, and then he has him like walking into a restaurant right here. I mean, this just seems like a friend that you would meet and you follow him on Instagram. This is not strategic. I mean, sure, it's showing his life, but it's not what's gonna really build the trust and the conversion as we want. And so overall, there's no identity, and he basically looks like everybody else. It looks like a random dude who's just trying to make some money online and kind of post his life, you know? And so now if we go ahead and look at a converting profile, what I picked up from is from Nick. So the very first thing is that the profile picture, he has a very good profile. Well, not very good, it's just his face, but that is a very good profile picture. And it's face front and center. He has a good profile picture. And then in his bio, he says right here, if we take a look, he's like, okay, owner of Uptake Consulting, okay? He has $1.4 million generated for clients in the last 90 days. Okay, wow, pretty good. Scaling detailers to $50,000 a month. Okay, he explains exactly who he helps. Okay, cool. If I'm a detailer, then I know like, oh wow, this guy's really good. This guy can help me. And so he says, DM me grow to apply for my help. So now he has a call to action on how to work with him. And then I see right here, he has a start here highlight. He's like, okay, cool. Wow, this actually makes me want to click there and start here. Figure out what this guy does. And then he has client results right here, showing his clients, and then he has his life, showing his personal life and some more clients. On his pinned post, he says, I've made over 7 figures in detailing industry. Here are 5 lessons I learned. He's given valuable advice. He's given industry knowledge. He's given his credibility on what he's been able to do. And then I see right here, he's like running some meta ads right here. So this is another like showing another proof that he's good at what he does. And then he has like his BMW right here, which is probably just showing his personal life, showing like the things that he likes. So the very first thing is that the bio, it shows founder credibility. He's very specific and he has a clear niche and a direct CTA, everything in 3 seconds. He shows, okay, I help detailers. I'm the owner of this consulting company and I've generated XYZ clients for I've generated XYZ amount of revenue for clients, and you can DM me grow to apply. It's very, very clear. His highlights, he has a start here highlight, he has his client results highlight, and then he has like his life highlight. This is building trust before any single DM enters in the marketplace, guys. And then he has his pinned post, he has an authority, right? He has his process, and then he has his personality. So he has authority right here. All right, he's made over 7 figures. Okay, cool, that's authority. Then he has his process, he's showing his process right here, running meta ads. And then he has his personality. And so that's very, very good. And so overall, he has a very consistent brand. It looks clean. It looks simple. It looks like, you know, he's very consistent in what he does. He might not have the most followers, but his stuff is very dialed in. So the difference between these 2 profiles is the difference between getting scrolled past and getting in a DM, 100%. This is what you guys want to aim for. This is kind of what you want to guys stay away from. So now we're going to go in depth on exactly how to like make your profile actually convert. But that was just a simple overview on just showing you guys exactly like how much a profile matters, because this is very, very important. So we're going to be going over exactly how to actually have the correct username, how to make sure you have the correct bio, how to make sure you have the correct profile picture, how to set up your start here highlights, how to set up your pinned post. We're going to be going all of that over in exact depth so exactly you can replicate it and build the exact profile that you need to do. The first thing in your profile optimization you need to do is figure out your username. This is the very first thing that people step into on your account. And so the username is the first thing that people see. It's your name. It's your brand. Make it easy to find. So your username should be your name. You don't want any numbers, any underscores, no periods, No random words attached to it. Your name is what people recognize you by and what they search when they want to find you. So if your exact name is not available, get creative with it, but keep it clean. Add something simple before or after your name that feels natural to your brand. For example, mine is Mr. Jonan Soto. My name is Jonan, my last name is Soto, but I went ahead and just added Mr. on there because I think it's cool. I like it. And it adds some personality and some character. Go to your Instagram settings right now and update your username. This is the very first thing to do. Next thing we're going to be going over is the profile picture. The profile picture is how people recognize you before they even read your name. We must understand that your profile picture shows up everywhere, on every single post that you post, on every single comment that you comment, on every story, on every DM. It is the most repeatable visual of your entire brand. The goal is simple. When someone scrolls past your content, they should recognize you before they even read your name because of your profile picture. It does not have to be a professional photo. It does not have to be a perfectly posed photo. It just needs to be close enough to your face that people know it's you and unique enough that it becomes a part of your brand identity. So a few little checklists that I have right here to make sure you actually do have a good profile picture is very first thing is you want to make sure that it's close enough to your face that people actually recognize you instantly. It reflects your brand and your personality and your aesthetic. It's unique when it comes to scrolling and people know that it's you, and try to keep it consistent. Try not to keep changing it. You know, go to a cool little spot maybe. It depends on what your brand, what your personality is and how you want to be perceived online. Obviously, you want it to correlate to what you're doing, but guys, don't overcomplicate it. It can be done on your phone. It can be done on your camera. It doesn't matter. It's just how you want it to be perceived. But just follow these very simple rules so that way your profile picture does look good and it can convert. So now let's talk about what actually makes you impossible to forget. The goal is to be unforgettable. The goal is to be very unique in what you do. The goal is to always be the first to show up, that people always remember you for what you do, to be the first person that people think of for the certain problem that you solve. And so every coach in your space is selling the same thing right now. But the ones who stand out, I'm going to tell you, have a name for what they do that nobody else has. It's called a mechanism name. It's the name of your unique system or your process. It does not have to be something completely new, but it needs to sound like something that belongs to you. You need to own something. The moment you name what you do, it becomes yours. Nobody else in the marketplace owns it. Nobody can replicate it. It makes your offer sound premium before you even explain what it is. So for example, a coach who says, I help you with meal planning is forgettable because everybody helps people with meal planning and all this stuff. But a coach who says, I use macro manipulation to help your body owns the market because you're like, macro manipulation? Isn't that meal planning macro manipulation? He's like manipulating macros, but he transforms my body still, but it's still meal planning. So it's like, okay, cool. I like this guy because this guy knows what he's doing. It looks like he has a system and a process that works instead of meal planning. So your mechanism name needs to be catchy. If it does not roll off the tongue naturally, it will not stick. So here are some examples. Very first, macro manipulation. It's just meal planning and dieting, but it sounds like something nobody else has. It's premium, it's unique, and it's ownable. Number two, brand conversion system. It's just personal brand building, brand conversion system. Okay, cool. But it sounds like something you built that nobody else has. Notice how none of these are like crazy concepts that you came up with that you need to be like some Albert Einstein and invent some crazy thing. No, it's not. They are familiar ideas with a name that makes them feel completely new to the market, and it makes you understand and know like, okay, cool, this guy is very good at what he does. So here's the difference between a good one and a bad one. Bad examples, for example, is the success blueprint. Guys, this is too generic. Success about what? Nobody owns that. The growth method, it means nothing on its own. Growth of exactly what? It's not unique. That's not a process. The coaching framework, no identity, sounds like everybody else. Yeah, the coaching framework, like what? Like coaching framework of what? Like that's not unique. But it's good examples is subconscious conversion. You're like, okay, cool. I teach people how to convert through subconscious conversion. And you're like, okay, cool, subconscious conversion. What does that mean? I'm going to be subconsciously converting people. Okay, cool. That's unique. That's clever. And once you hear it once, you remember it. You're like, okay, cool. This dude has a system. That's pretty cool. The anxiety antidote. That's catchy. It's specific. It makes you want to know more. It's like, okay, cool. I help people overcome anxiety with anxiety antidote. You're like, oh, cool. Like, what is that? And this dude has a system. This guy has a mechanism name. So a good mechanism name tells him exactly what it does, and it sounds like nothing else out there, guys. So here's mine built using the formula, the brand conversion system. It's 6 stages that take your skill into a personal brand that generate consistent clients and income. I named it exactly after what it does. It converts your brand into a business. That is mine. Nobody else in the marketplace owns it, and that is the point. So now let's get yours built. This is very, very cool because a lot of you guys don't have mechanism names. So the very first thing that you want to do is figure out what is the core thing that you do for your clients. Number 2, what process or system do you take them through? Number 3, is it like, for number 2, is it like a system? Is it a protocol? Is it a framework? Like, what is it that you do? Number 3, what outcome does it produce? Number 4, give it a name that sounds like only you could have built it. So I want you guys to write down 3 possible names right now and pick the one that most feels uniquely to yours, to what you would want to be doing, to how people would perceive you. Make it very simple, make it very easy to understand. So pull up the free doc, lock in your mechanism name before moving into the next slide, because once your mechanism name is locked in, now we're gonna build the bio around it. All right, guys, awesome. Now we're moving into the bio. We're moving through this process, very excited. So your bio needs 4 things exactly. The very first thing is you want a line. Line 1 is going to be your credibility statement. This is going to be what you have done, what you have built that establishes you as someone worth following. So for example, founder of the debt freedom method. Okay, cool. I understand this is credibility. I understand, like, okay, cool. He has a mechanism right here. Line number 2 is going to be result. What specific result do you get your clients? Use a real number if you have one. For example, helped clients pay off $50,000 in debt in under 12 months. I'm like, okay, cool. This dude is credible. Number 3, who you help. This is one sentence on who you serve exactly. So for example, helping everyday people eliminate debt and build financial freedom. Say like, okay, cool. He can help everybody build debt. Eliminate debt and build financial freedom. And then number 4 is going to be the CTA. Tell them exactly what to do next. One action only. Example is like, watch my free class below. I'm telling them exactly what to do. How you mix and match the first 2 depends on your brand and what you want to lead with. Some people lead with credibility, some lead with a result. Some use both. There is no wrong answer. So for example, you can have founder of debt freedom method as your first line, or you can have your results as your first line. I personally have, like, right for man, it's founder of the brain conversion system. And so you can mix and match them however you want. But what matters is that whoever lands on your personal brand or your profile immediately understands who you are and what you do. That's the number 1 thing that you want them to understand. And remember, you don't need all 4 perfectly on day 1. You want to start with what you have and redefine it as your brand grows, because you're not always going to have the same credibility, result, who you help, in CTA. So here is mine. First, it's the founder of the brand conversion system. It's my mechanism name. Second is I help you build a 6 to 7 figure personal brand. It goes over who I help and what I get them. Okay, I help anyone build a 6 to 7 figure personal brand. Very cool. And then number 3 is watch my free class. That's the CTA. That's my call to action. So it's 3 lines. Every single one of them has a simple job. First off, it's a mechanism name, then who I help and the results they get, and then 1 clear action to take. So here's exactly how to write your bio. So the very first line is you want to have founder of your mechanism name or your credibility or result. The second line is that you want to have I help who you serve achieve a specific outcome. So for example, for me, it's very simple. I help you build a 6 to 7 figure personal brand. It's very simple. But for you, like for example, I help who you serve. I help, let's say you're a fitness coach and you help entrepreneurs get in shape who are busy. All right, I help entrepreneurs achieve specific outcome, lose XYZ amount of fat or pounds or whatever, or gain muscle, XYZ like timeline, for example. And so line 3, your CTA, you want to pick one. It's going to be either watch your free class, DM me a keyword to get started, or apply to work with me below, and you have a little link right there. So open Instagram right now, go edit your profile and fill in each using this template. Do not move forward until this is written. Make sure that you guys have this written down, because remember, this is your resume. This is how people are going to want to interact with you. This is how people are going to want to follow you on your brand. So you need to make sure you make it very clear, very simple for these people, and make it very easy for these people. So let's go ahead and get your bio written. Very cool, guys. Your profile is already starting to look amazing. And so now let's move into the next piece of your profile, is going over your highlights. Your highlights are your brand's first impression after the bio. Most coaches treat them like a photo album. That is wrong. Highlights are not for sharing random memories. They are a trust building system. Every highlight serves a purpose. Everyone moves someone closer in believing you. When someone lands on your profile and taps your highlight, they should leave feeling like they already know you, trust you, and want to work with you. Think of your highlights as a silent sales sequence that runs without you. So here's what your highlights should include. Number 1, it's going to consist of a start here highlight. This is where every new visitor goes first. This explains what you do, your system, your proof, where to go next. This is the one that you need to build before any of them else. Second is a client result highlight. This is going to showcase your work. It's going to show that you work with real people. It's going to show that you have real results and show real testimonials and screenshots. So this is what turns a skeptic into a believer. Next is your life. This lets people into your world. It shows them behind the scenes. It shows them your personality. It shows them who you actually are. And always remember, guys, that people buy from people they feel like they already know. So number 3 is optional, but it is very important. For you to actually start building the relationship and the trust with the clients behind the screen, because it shows them that you're actually a real person. You got to show your personality, and they get to know you a little bit better because you're showing your life and you're inviting them into your life. Number 4 is going to be free value. This is where you want to give something away. This is going to be tips, breakdowns, frameworks. You want to show them that you know what you're talking about before they even reach out. So let's say you're posting on your stories and one day you start to post a framework or a tip or a breakdown. Then you could go ahead and take those stories and put them into a highlight onto your page where people can go to and get information from your highlights. Let's say it's a new follower and they don't want to watch all your stories. They just seen a reel from you, but they don't want to watch a reel from you. They go ahead and click the free value, and then you're going ahead and nurturing them with all the information that you were giving your followers, and is building that trust at scale. So now let's build the 2 most important highlights. These are the 2 most important ones that you need, is your start here and your client results. These come first before you build any other of the highlights. The other ones just come on top. So the start here is the number 1 highlight. This is the first highlight every new visitor is going to tap. This is where they go to understand who you are and then what you do. And then second is going to be your client results highlight. You don't just show the win. You want to show the whole entire journey of working with this client, show the whole process, where they started, what you built, what changed, and then the story that makes someone think that, okay, this could be me. You want to make it very relatable to the people. So we're going to go very in depth right now. I'm going to show you exactly how to build each one. All right, guys, so here is exactly how to build your start here highlight. I went ahead and put my example of what mine looks like right here, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. So the number 1 slide that you want to do is open up with results. The first thing people sees when they tap your highlight. You want to lead with proof. You want to explain who you've helped, what you built, and show real numbers. This is your credibility before anything else they know about you. So for example, if you look at mine, it says the fastest path to a 6 to 7 figure business is simpler than most people think. Having a personal brand is the most under-leveraged move you can make. I have proven it multiple times. And then they get opened up. They're like, oh wow, like this is cool. I'm interested. So now slide number 2, you want to stack the proof. So this is where you're going to want to show multiple client results, show different clients and different outcomes. The more variety you show, the more people feel like you can help them. So for example, if you look at mine, I show right here a couple clients, 3 of my clients. I show right here Ian and Evan, so brand system for Ian and Evan Macklin. And then I showcase it to the result that I got them. Content strategy for Tessa, boom. Then I showcase it to the result that I got them. And then organic systems for Mark Jennison, showcase what we did, and then basically what we got him to. So also, guys, you can build these on Canva. That's what I went ahead and built these on, but you could also do it on IG. It's pretty simple to do these. Next, slide 3 is you want to drive them to the masterclass. But after seeing the proof that you just showed them, some people might be interested. Now, send them straight to the masterclass where the full system is broken down. This is where a viewer becomes a student. So basically, I have right here, I've uploaded the full breakdown of the system on YouTube. And then basically, I'm going to go ahead and insert the link right here of my YouTube video, which is the one that you're watching right now. And then I say, sharing everything on foundation, content, production, distribution, conversion, and authority that turns a skill into a 6 to 7 figure business and allows results like this. And I show like some views, I show some revenue. Next, slide 4, you want to tell your story. So this is where people get to know you. This is where you share where you came from, the struggles, the turning point, and the moment that changed everything. Remember, people follow people they feel like they know. So you always want to invite people into your life. Don't be scared about showing your life. Don't be scared about, okay, what is this person going to think about me? What is this person going to think about me? Because you have to understand that you have your unique story. We're always going to emphasize this multiple times, and that you guys will see that your story is your most valuable asset, so you need to utilize it. And so I share right here, but life wasn't always like this. So right here I was showing them the results that I got, but now I'm saying, okay, but life wasn't always like this, right? I didn't always have this. At 15, I was selling sneakers and built a following. I hit 70,000 followers and made I made $10,000 reselling sneakers. And so I put a little screenshot right there of my TikTok account at the time. Then the market slowed down and the money stopped. And I had to get a 9-to-5 job, but the feeling that I was meant for something bigger never went away. So I quit my job and I locked in. There was no other option. So now they're interested in my story and they're like, okay, cool, this guy's a real person. I like the journey that he's been. I understand that he wasn't always this big success, but he's worked his way through the ranks and he's really helped a lot of people. I wonder how he is able to help people now and what he figured out. Next, slide 5 is you want to show what you discovered. So after your story comes the moment you explain what you found, what you spent years learning, what you discovered that changed everything. This is where you connect your journey to the system that you built. So for example, mine, it says, I spent the next 3 years building brands across every industry. Coaches, consultants, experts of all kind, but one pattern kept showing up. The ones who were winning weren't just posting more, they had a system that turned their skill into a business. And the ones who were stuck had the skill, they just didn't have the system around it. So I'm showing them that I discovered basically that all these people that I was working with had a skill, but the thing is that their skill was just, it wasn't enough. It was the system actually holding them accountable to that. So whether you do fitness coaching, like you could say, it's not their discipline, it's not this, it's not that, but instead it's a system actually built specifically for their life. Let's say they're entrepreneurs and they're busy, right? They're giving these to people who have all the time in the world, but for entrepreneurs, if you're running a business, you don't got all the time in the world. So you want to really correlate this into your industry and show them the common result, the common pattern of what people think in your industry that is stopping them, but you are showing them what you discovered and what is actually stopping them. So on slide 6, now you introduce the system. This is where the system gets revealed. After they have seen the proof, they've heard your story, and they understand what you discovered, this is where you reveal the system that came from it all. So this is where you want to show the stages of your system and make it feel like something they need to know. So right here I built the system, the brand conversion system. Everything you need to turn your skill into a business. Here is all how it breaks down. So I go over right here, the foundation. I break down the 6 stages: the foundation, the content, the production, the distribution, the conversion, and the authority. And I basically have a little brief explanation right here, what every single stage kind of goes about and what you'll learn in that stage. Next, slide 7 is that you want to show it working, your actual result. You want to show your actual system working in real life. So by this point, they have seen your credibility, they heard your story, and they learned your system. And so this slide is all proof. This is going to show DMs of screenshots of you in your system working. This is revenue screenshots, real client results. And I basically just show, like, see for yourself. And I just put a collage of a bunch of results that we've been able to accumulate with implementing the system. Okay, guys, this is the last slide. This is slide 8. This is the CTA. And this is the last slide they see. And you want to make it very clear on the action that you want them to take. Everything you have showing them leads to this highlight right here, and make it very simple, make it very direct. So what I have right here is that I work with coaches. I explain to them who I work with and what I'll help them do, and I give them a CTA. And I say I work with coaches one-on-one to build the brand conversion system into their business. Basically, the system and everything I just showed them right now, I help them implement that into their business. Building their foundation, creating their content system, and converting their audience into clients. Reply with the word brand, and I will personally give you the exact steps you need to level up. So if you do notice here that this is actually a different CTA than this one right here. These are 2 different CTAs that you actually want to drive them to. This is going to be to the masterclass, but then this one right here is I'm going to personally, like, give them a free audit basically. So they basically got nurtured throughout this whole thing. And so they have the masterclass at their disposal, but then they also have my expertise to basically give them and implement to them exact steps for them to level up. So this is a very good basically lead capture to get, because everybody wants to get an audit of their brand. Everybody wants to get some type of free value that you can give to them based on your expertise and based on their situation. And you want to make it very relatable to them, guys. You want to make it very relational to them. You need to step into, we'll go into this in the sales process of the video, but every single thing that you want to do is you always want to be relational and not transactional. You always want to be aware of who's coming into your ecosystem and making sure you allow the clients that you really, really want to work with, making sure you give your time and energy to them, because that is very, very important. If someone comes to you and they have their situation, but they are not ready to change their situation, do not spend your energy on them, giving all your mental load onto them. If they are ready to change, then you want to make sure that you are able to help them as much as possible. You can only guide them, you can only plant the seeds to them, but they must make the decision on whether or not they want to change. And so if that's their decision, what they want to do now, then cool. If not, then guys, don't spend your energy so much on people who do not want to do it. This basically gives them a free audit and a free guideline. So that's basically the start here highlight, what you guys want to do. This is the most important highlight that you guys want to build. You guys can go ahead and build this on Instagram. You guys can go ahead and build this on Canva. You guys don't need to have pictures like this. Like basically I went out, I was eating dinner and we took pictures. Like these are just pictures throughout my life that happened. And so if you don't have any of these pictures, then cool. I would just do like any type of lifestyle pictures that you might have, that you have on your phone, of you going to any cool places, of you like showing your lifestyle, whatever that you're interested in. Everybody's interested in other things. Everybody has different things that they love. And so you want to showcase that in your slides and show your personality. So once we have the start here highlight, once you get this done, that's basically your start here highlight on what you want to have and accomplish on here. So obviously you will need to have your masterclass done. It doesn't have to be a masterclass, guys. Remember that you just want to give them any type of free asset and just help them along the journey. You want to be able to plant seeds. You need to show up and give them some type of value, because whenever someone feels like they give some type of value to someone, they're going to want to give reciprocity and value back. Remember, guys, it's a relationship. Imagine you meet a random stranger on the street and you give him a cookie, you give him something, you give him a gift. And so he's always going to remember you throughout that day. He's always going to remember you. Let's say you always walk in this certain path and he always sees you. He's going to be okay, cool. He's going to always build a relationship with you. He's going to be like, hey man, I remember you from last week. Hey man, I remember you from last month. And then he wants to give you something in return. And then it's building a relationship, and it's building this process, and it's building this just repetition of building these people. And so that's what you really want to think of. It's building and nurturing these people. So once we go into the start here highlight, now let's move into the client results highlight. So this is exactly how to build your client results highlight. Most coaches just post the final result. They just say, okay, cool, I made this client a transformation. I helped them increase in 15 pounds of muscle. Boom, that's what I'm going to post. They just show a screenshot, they just show a number, but they show no real story behind it. And so the problem is that nobody relates to a result, and they cannot see themselves achieving what you just showed them. What you need to do is people relate to is with a journey, because everybody has a different journey, everybody has a different circumstance. And so imagine going to your client results and you see just a result. And so you're like, okay, cool, this dude gets results. But if you go to the highlight and you see a result specifically actually targeting to you, because this person might have had the same situation as you, you're like, damn, dude, like I could probably go and learn and implement, and it gives you more certainty because he's been able to help the people that exactly who you are. So people relate to journeys, they don't relate to results. You want it to amplify and connect to them as much as possible. So you want to give each client their own actual dedicated highlight. So you don't want to just have one client highlight result, which you can have clients and put a bunch of clients on there. What you want to do is have every single client have its each dedicated result, because every single one of their stories is very, very powerful and it relates to every single specific person. So start slide 1 with the viewer's problem, not the client's name. You want to make them feel seen before you introduce anyone. Slide 2 is the mechanism. You want to show exactly what you specifically built for them. Slide 3 is the result. This is where you're going to show them the number, what you basically help them achieve. And then slide 4 is going to be a soft CTA and show them basically the proof that you've been able to actually help them. So you want to take them through the full journey. It's a very simple framework to just follow to take people to the journey. You show them the problem coming in, you show them the process implemented, and then you show them the result achieved. So let me show you mine, for example. This is for Ian and Evan, my first clients. So I have right here, having a skill and knowing how to monetize it online are two different things. Plenty of people have the skill, very few know how to sell it. Ian and Evan did both. So I'm basically not opening up with Ian and Evan. I'm basically opening up with, okay, cool. I'm sharing with them what most people are lacking. I'm sharing with them the problem that Ian and Evan had. And so I show them that they overcame that problem and they did it both. So I basically have screenshot results right here. Then I move on to basically what they were doing. So they were posting, they had their presence and they had credibility, but the income wasn't consistent. They didn't have an offer and they didn't have a system, and there was no way to convert the intention they already had. So then they're like, okay, cool. Wow, this actually relates to me. Next, we didn't change what Ian and Evan were doing. We built the system around it. 3 changes made all the difference. So now I show them the difference that allowed us to get these results that I shared with them on the very first slide. The 3 points are their profile. We built to convert cold visitors into warm leads. Second, their content system, designed to attract the right people every day. And then third, the conversion system, made to turn attention into income. So I showed them basically the 3 steps that we implemented into their business to get the XYZ result. In under 12 months, they went from $50 a month to over $300,000 a month. Insert screenshot. They went through the brand conversion system. This is where I amplify, okay, cool, they did all this, but this is exactly what we did. We did the brand conversion system. We did your mechanism name. We did your offer right here. And then all the 6 stages, show them the stages of basically everything they went through to get that XYZ result. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so the last one, if you are ready to build a personal brand that turns your skill into a business, watch my free class first. And then this is where I'm gonna go ahead and insert the link of this YouTube video once it's finished. And so everything is in there, talk soon. So it's very simple. The whole goal is for them is to understand, okay, what was the problem that they had? What were they doing, the system around it, the steps that we fixed, and then basically showing them the result and then the CTA that I want them to do, which is watch this video, because when they watch this video at the very end, I'm going to show them all the knowledge and every single resource that they possibly need to do. And then the very end, then I'm going to show them exactly how to work with me to implement the exact system into their business. So this is basically the client result highlight, guys. It's very, very simple. You want to kind of have this framework for exactly all of your clients. This is just for Ian and Evan. But for your specific clients, you want to be able to have this. So now let's move into the 3 pin posts. After someone reads your bio and taps through your highlights, your 3 pin posts are the first content they see in your feed. So each one has a specific job. Together they do one thing that makes someone want to follow you and reach out. These need to be strategic. So most coaches pin whatever got the most views recently. They got a 1 million view video and they'll just pin it at the top of the profile. But that is not strategic. Your 3 pin posts need to work as a system, and each one speaks to a different part of the relationship. In under 30 seconds, a new visitor should know who you are, what you do, and why you are worth following. So the very first pin post that you want to have is going to be your personal story. So this post is not about what you know, but it's about who you actually are. This is the post that introduces who you are, where you came from, the moment that everything changed for you, the reason you do what you do. And when someone reads this, they should feel an emotional connection that makes them want to follow you and keep on watching. So there are 2 different options that you could go ahead and post this this pinned post. Is that you could first make it a carousel, which is basically having photos and having text and sharing them, and they're basically tapping through the slides and basically show them the journey. Or option 2, you can have a video, a talking head, and directly in the camera sharing your story. Me personally, I picked number 2 because I feel like it would be more emotional and more relatable with a video and actually expressing my story. So I went ahead and did video number 2, but pick the one that feels most comfortable to you. And always remember, guys, that people do not buy from coaches. They buy from people like they already know. So this is why it's very important to have this personal story. So here's exactly how you want to structure this first pinned post. Is number 1, first, you want to open up with the hook. You want to have a bold statement or result that makes them stop scrolling. Number 2 is you want to show where you started, your origin, where you came from. Be very specific. Number 3, you want to show them the struggle, what you went through, what was hard, and what almost stopped you. Number 4 is the turning point. This is the moment that everything changed and what you discovered throughout your journey. And then number 5 is going to be where you are now, what you built, what you have. And number 6 is going to be why you do this and your purpose and who you are doing this for. So the structure works for both format, either video or carousel. If you're making a video, use this as your script outline. And if you're making a carousel, each point becomes each slide inside of this carousel. So now let me go ahead and show you mine. This is exactly what yours should look like when it's fully built. Growing up, I always felt behind. I couldn't focus in class. I couldn't remember anything I learned, no matter how hard I tried. Doctors put me on ADHD meds when I was young. My teachers made it sound like I wasn't gonna make it. At 17, I was working at a burger spot at 1 a.m. cooking burgers. I hated every second of it, and I knew the day I walked in, I was already walking out. So I completely locked in and started building brands for entrepreneurs across every industry you can think of. I've watched them get respected the second they walk into a room, get paid to teach what they're already great at, and live a life they once dreamed of. Today, I help coaches build a personal brand that turns their skill into a 6 to 7 figure business, because I know what it feels like to be told you can't, and I know what it takes to do it anyway. Boom, guys. So it's that very simple. You want to make sure that whenever people watch this, they get inspired, they understand your story. Now, let's go ahead and build yours. So number one is that you want to introduce yourself. What was the first thing that you want people to know about you? Second, where did you start? Be specific about what your life looked like. Like, for example, I showed mine. I was sneaker reselling, and I had to get a job, and basically, I knew it wasn't always for me. And so number three, what was the hardest part about your journey? Number four, what was the moment that changed everything for you? And then number five, where are you now? What does your life look like? And number six, why do you do this and who is this for? If you're making a carousel, you want to keep it at least 7 to 10 slides like maximum. And then each slide should be quick to read at glance. So you don't want to be putting paragraphs and throwing paragraphs of chunk inside of your message, because most of the time people aren't going to read it. And if you're making a video, just keep it like 60 to 90 seconds maximum. So that's going to be your first pinned post. And so pull up the doc right now and write out your answers. The second pinned post is going to be your value post. This is where you prove what you know you're actually talking about. This post breaks down your mechanism, your system, and the thing that makes you do different from everyone else in your marketplace. So this shows your ICP exactly how you think and how you solve their problem. When someone reads or watches this, they should think this person actually knows their stuff. This is what builds authority. So same with the other pin post. Number one, this works as two options. You can have it as a carousel or a video. So connection gets them to follow, but authority gets them to trust. Here's exactly how to structure your pin post number two. So number one is that you want to lead with the hook. Lead with a bold claim or result that proves your system works. Number two is a result. Show proof that the method works before you explain it. Number three is going to be a storyline. Briefly walk through how you discovered or built the system. Number four is going to be the mechanism reveal. This is where you break down your system step by step and you name it and you show how it works. And then number five is going to be the CTA. This is one clear next step. Watch the free class or whatever your CTA is, apply one action only. So let me show you mine. This is exactly what yours should look like when it's built. So I went ahead and did a carousel format for the specific pin post. And so as you guys see, I started with the bold claim. How to turn your skill into a 6 to 7 figure through personal branding. So then I have a bunch of results here, blah, blah, blah. We do this through a system of multiple stages. Here's the system. And now they're interested. Okay, cool. I want to be able to turn my skill into a 6 to 7 figure business. Built brands for coaches across every industry. Now I'm showing them credibility on why they should listen to me. Sales, fitness, life, business, mindset, a bunch of stuff with me working with my clients. And so I say, took their skill, built a brand around it, took that brand and turned it into a business, all from the same system. So now they understand, okay, cool, maybe they're at the point where they just have a skill, but we were able to build a brand around their skill. And then we took their brand and then we turned it into a business, all from the same system. So like now, okay, curious, what is this system? I've spent the last 3 years doing this every single day, building brands, studying what works across every industry you can think of, and the same pattern kept showing up. Most coaches think personal brand growth is a content problem. Better hooks, better editing, more posting. But here's what I learned when I watched it play out. It's not a content problem, it's a system problem. So I showed them, right? I was able to do this for a very long time with a period of my coaches and basically working, but I noticed something that was stopping all these coaches from getting these results. And so I share them that it was a system problem. And now I explain the system. The system I built is called the brand conversion system. It turns your skill into a brand and your brand into a business, built across 3 years of working with real coaches. Next, and now this is where I explain the system in depth. So this works in 6 stages. I explain to them the foundation, the content, the production, the distribution, the conversion, and the authority. And then I have a quick little overview exactly what every single one of those stages go through. Each one builds on the last. By the end, your skill is a business. So basically, I'm promising them and letting them know that they can turn their skill into a business if they follow this system. And so the last slide is the CTA. This is going to be your skill isn't the problem. I'm sharing them, okay, what was working with these other clients that they could possibly think that was their problem, but that wasn't the problem. The skill around it was. Basically tell them to build the system first, build the brand, and then build the business. So comment or DM system, and I will send you the full breakdown. And so basically on this, I'll basically go ahead and I could share them whatever. I could share them this video, and let's say I have another free asset to do. Basically, this gives them the whole breakdown of, okay, cool, I want to turn my skill into a business. I share with them exactly who I worked with, what I've been able to do. I share with them the system. I reveal the system. I show them the stages and then the CTA to get the exact results that you've been able to help them get. So that's basically mine. Now let's build yours. So the first thing that you want to do is what bold claim or result that opens your post. You want to figure out what you're going to say that opens the post. So for example, mine, it was like how to turn your skill into a 6 to 7 figure business through personal branding. That's a bold result. That's a bold claim. So number 2, the next slide is that you want to put, or next video, whatever part of your, whatever way that you want to sequence this, is what proof can you show that your method works? Number 3, how did you discover or build the system? Number 4, what steps of your mechanism? Name each one. What are the steps of your mechanism? How does your mechanism actually like show me that this is a real mechanism? Number 5 is what is the action you want them to take at the very end? So I want you to pull up the free doc right now and build your value post right now using this exact structure. Next is going to be the pin post number 3. This is going to be your credibility post. This is where you show what you actually do actually works for other people. So this post backs up everything you have said on your profile with proof, a real client, a real transformation. You walk them through using the problem, solution, result format. When someone sees this, they stop wondering if you can help them and start wondering how to actually work with you. So the same with this, the 2 options work is you can either have it as a carousel or a video. Connection gets them to follow, authority gets them to trust, but the proof actually gets them to act. So here's exactly how to structure it. This is where you show what you actually do works for other people. So number 1 is going to be the client. Who are they? What do they do? Give context before showing anything. Number 2, their problem, where they came in, what they were struggling with. Make it relatable to the person watching this because everyone has a different situation and they might be like, okay, wow, like this person's really speaking to me. Number 3, what you built, the specific things you implemented. Show the process, not just the outcome. Number 4, show them the result, show them the numbers, show them a screenshot, show them a transformation. Number 5 is going to be the caption. Put your call to action in the description, and then it could either be watch a free class, apply, or make sure that it's just one step. So let me go ahead and show you mine. This is exactly what yours should look like when it's built. This is Ian and Evan, twin brothers, presidents at the Elliott Group, Andy Elliott's sales training company. Already operating at a high level, posting consistently and building an audience. But when they first came to me, here's what they kept running into. They had tried different formats, different hooks, different posting strategies, different gurus telling them to post more, use better hooks, chase trends, none of it worked. And what I immediately told them was that their issue was not their content, their consistency, or their offer. The issue was something called the system around their skill. Most coaches think personal brand is a content problem. They need better hooks, better editing, more posting, but the real problem isn't the content, it's that there's no system holding the content together. No strategy, no positioning, no clarity on what to post and why. So I walked them through the brand conversion system, built their positioning, locked their content pillars, gave them the clarity on exactly what to post when and why. They brought the skill, the system brought the structure. They started with 1 paying student at $50 a month. Less than a year in, over 400 paying students, $40,000 in monthly revenue. They crossed 100,000 followers across platforms and built the #1 school community on the platform. And they started building real relationships with names like David Goggins, Andy Frisella, Patrick Bet David, and Russell Brunson. Because you see, their problem was never their skill, it was the system around it. And that's the power of the brand conversion system. Boom, so at the end of this video, they should already be very intrigued. I'm like, okay, cool, how can this guy help me? I wanna get started. I've seen the result that he's been able to help with his clients. Maybe how do I do this? And if I wanna do this in my situation. So now let's build yours. So number 1, who is your client that you are featuring? Give context on who they are. Number 2, what were they struggling with when they came into you? Number 3, what specific thing did you build or implement for them? Number 4, what was the result? Be specific. Use numbers where possible. And number 5, what is the CTA you're going to go ahead and put on your caption for them to drive forward? So pull up the free doc right now. Build your credibility post right now using the exact structure that I just gave you. This is the last of the 3 pinned posts. So make sure to go build this. This is very, very important. So profile optimization, your turn. Now we're going to go ahead and audit your profile and make sure that it's 100% good. So very first thing that we covered in this profile optimization is your username. Is it clear and searchable? Can people search and understand your name? Make it very, very simple. It's not complicated, guys. Number 2, your profile picture. Is it professional and recognizable? Can they see your face? Is it clean? Does it match your aesthetics? They need to just understand and correlate your profile picture with you. Make it stand out. Make it just you. You yourself is going to be able to stand out, but just make sure you put your face on it. Don't try to cover up your face because you want to show people visually and understand, okay, cool, I already know that this is this person. Mechanism name. Define it in your bio. Figure out your mechanism name. Make it catchy. Make it relatable. Make it so people can understand, okay, cool, the brand conversion system, which is mine. Figure that out for yours. Figure that out for your specific niche. Make sure that it's very easy to understand. Make sure that it's catchy and make someone be intrigued to be like, okay, cool, what is that? But I understand that that person has a system that maybe none of these other people have. And own it, own it, own it, own it. And define it in your bio. Then your bio must follow the 4-part formula. Make sure that you have your results or your basically your credibility. Then you show who you actually help. Then you show the CTA and you have like the CTA and all that stuff. Then the next thing is you want to make sure your start here highlight is built. Very important. And then your individual highlights are built. And then all 3 pinned posts are in place. So do not move into stage 2 until every single one of these is checked off. You can't start your content without really having all of these in place because let's say you get a ton of audience. Let's say you make a video and it gets thousands of views. But if you don't have, let's say your profile, your username is weird, they won't remember you. Let's say your profile picture is weird, they won't remember you. You'll blend in into their Instagram profile. Let's say you don't have a mechanism name, you sound like everybody else. Your bio doesn't follow the 4-part formula. They don't understand exactly who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And then you don't have the start here highlight. You don't have asset for them to give to them. And then you don't show them the client results. And so they're not able to see how you can actually help them and how you helped other people. And then you don't have the 3 pinned posts in place where you don't actually share them exactly what your story is. You don't show them the results that you've been able to help with the clients, and you don't show them your actual knowledge and expertise on what you've been able to do in your system. So without these in place, guys, you're going to get all these people, but you're not going to be able to convert them effectively. So this is why I say it's very, very important to make sure that this is up really before you want to start posting content. So stage 1 is complete. This is the last thing of stage 1, guys. Make sure to implement this, please, before you move into the content. Stage number 2, we're going to go over the content. I know content is what everybody wants to get to, but your content can only grow as strong as your foundation underneath it. This is the roots. This is what nobody wants to do, but it's going to separate you from what everybody else is doing. You cannot grow a tree that bears fruits from a weak roots. The root determines how far the tree grows. So always remember that. I trust that you guys will do this. And so let's get into the next situation and next step. All right, guys, I'm very excited to go on to stage number 2, the content section. This is going to be very in-depth. We're going to be going over your topic pillars, how to come up with topics for your videos, for your personal brand. We're going to be going over how to make formats for your brand. We're going to be talking about in-demand topics, how to find actual topics that are in demand that are going to go viral. Number 4, we're going to be talking about the funnel and how your content moves people from cold to buyers. Number 5, we're going to be talking about the ideation process. And then number 6, the content calendar. And so these are going to be 6 parts that turn your content into a system that actually builds your audience and generates you clients. So very excited. We're going to be going very, very in depth. You need all of these sections in order for your content to succeed. So let's get straight into it. So the first section in this content stage is going to be talking about topic pillars. And so the number one thing that I want to emphasize in topics, and when people try to find topics to post onto their account, they just post what they can think of that day. That is not a content strategy. That is guessing what to post every single day. If you're guessing, you don't know what to post, that's not a strategy. It builds no identity with who you are. There is no reason for someone to want to follow you specifically. And you just become another creator in a crowded space with nothing that makes you stand out. The coaches who win go deep on a few topics that they're very good at and become the go-to person on them. So you might be thinking, how do you find the topics you should be posting about? So your topic pillars are your 3 to 5 topics your whole brand is built around. They come from your identity, your experiences, and your beliefs. The things you're passionate about that you could talk for about hours without notes and never running out for things to say. When you find these, your content stops feeling forced and starts feeling like you, because you are truly passionate and energetic about what you're talking about, so it comes out most authentically like yourself and the way that you express yourself. So here are mine, for example. Number 1 is personal brand building. This is how to build an identity online that nobody can replicate. It's what my whole brand is built around, personal brand building. So that's one of my topic pillars because I love personal brand. I love posting on social media. Number 2 is content creation, how to create content that builds relationships that scales. You don't know how to build a personal brand with first understanding how to create the right content. So that's one of my topic pillars. Third is sales and conversion, how to turn an audience into consistent income, right? You can bring in all the audience, you can bring in everybody to your page, but if you don't have the sales to convert it, you won't make any money. So that's another topic pillar of mine. Number 4 is faith and mindset, how your belief system determines the ceiling of your success. You will only go as far as your mindset will be able to take you in your faith. So always make sure that that's number 1 in priority before anything else in your life. Number 5 is entrepreneurship, what it actually takes to build a real business from ground up. This is basically just business, mindset, success, lifestyle, all of that. Every piece of content I create lives inside one of these 5 topic pillars, basically. And if it doesn't fit one of these, I don't post it because it's not part of my brand. It's not part of the identity that I created. So here's how you're going to find your exact topic pillars that you need to post for your brand. Number 1 is figure out what topics could you talk about for hours without notes. What are you most passionate about? What are you able to, speak and find passion and something that fills you with energy? That's what you want to focus on. Number 2 is what have you learned through experience that most people only read about. So what I mean by this is like from your own personal experience, what have you experienced and learned that someone from a book or someone that reads from an article about something can't really get? This is lived experience and it truly makes it unique to your story and who you are. Number 3, what topics energize you when you talk about them? Like the same thing I said in number 1, you want to find the topics that energize you and give you the most energy so that way you can come off as your most authentic self. And then number 4, what do you never want to post about because it drains you? Figure out what drains you and what gives you energy. Do the things that build you energy and the things that you love doing and the things that you are passionate about, and you can express yourself most authentically to your audience if it drains you. And just because everybody is doing it, but it's not you, then don't do it. Only focus on the things that truly make you special. The topics that give you energy are your pillars. The ones that drain you, stay away from, no matter how well they perform. So pull up the free doc right now and write out your 3 to 5 topic pillars. With your topics locked in, the next step is choosing your format pillars and how you actually deliver those topics to your audience. All right, format pillars. Most people pick formats based on what's working for someone else. They go on Instagram Reels and they see, oh wow, this format's working for him, this format's working with him, and they wonder why they feel fake every time they film. You watch someone go viral with a talking head and you try it and it feels off and your energy is wrong. Your delivery is forced, you're performing a version of yourself that isn't real. And that feeling has a name to it, and it's called being performative. And it will drain you every single time because you're not your true authentic self. So how do you avoid that? First, you pick the format that actually fits you. So the right format is the one that feels most like you, not the one that performs the best for someone else. So you want to find the formats where your energy is natural, where you don't have to think about how you're coming across, where filming feels easy instead of forced. That authenticity is what people feel when they watch you. You cannot fake it in a format that does not fit you. So here are my formats. Number 1 is talking heads. This is raw, natural, whatever is on my mind, filmed anywhere. This is phone specifically. So anytime, let's say I have my phone, I will pull up my video, and then I'll just literally record, and I could be anywhere, anytime, any place, and record and get out a video right there. Very easy when you just have a phone to record videos. Second is direct to camera. So this is more of like a camera that I have set up right here. And so this could be, maybe I just like to diversify. I don't want to have all phones. I want to have camera. I want to have some nicer ones. I want to have some lessons, in-depth type of stuff with the camera. And so that will be more of my cleaner and more intentional lessons and advice in depth. So that's like a format, like phone format. Then I have camera format. And then number 3, screen recordings. This could be teaching live, showing the work as I explain it. So For example, as you guys see right here, I am screen recording basically this lesson that I'm giving to you guys on a reel or a YouTube video. I could do the same like I'm doing for this YouTube video right now, but I could also do it for reels and screen share my screen, showing them live in-depth step-by-step lessons. Number 4 is lifestyle vlogs. This is my day-to-day out in an environment. This is talking about me, talking about my life, talking about my perspective, talking about my faith, talking about my mindset. Just me being me and sharing what is on my mind to the world. So these 4 feel most natural to me, and I can produce them consistently without burning out. If a format does not fit one of these, I don't force it because I understand how to most authentically come out as myself, and I only focus on that because that's what makes me unique. So now we're gonna go over how to find yours. The very first thing you need to do is figure out which formats feel most natural to you when you film. So a way that you could do this is have a list, have a folder on Instagram, and you have a lot of these formats that you like and you put them into this folder. And so basically you won't actually know what formats fit for you or what most authentically comes out as yourself until you try them out. So you must try out these formats in order to see how you feel. And once you film those and you see how you feel and you see how you come off on camera and you watch your feedback, you watch the playback of your film, you will see how, okay, is that really myself? Is that how I am in person? Is that who I truly want to be like? And you'll be able to see, and it will correlate with your brand. Some formats might be goofy for your brand. Some formats might be, okay, I don't want to do this because, you know, it doesn't really correlate with this. The only way you'll figure this out is that if you actually test these. So you must test them in order to figure out which formats feel natural. So basically just get a folder, stick a bunch of formats in there. I got 10 formats and film every single one of them, and then you'll be able to figure out which ones feel most natural to you. Number 2, which formats make you feel like you're performing rather than being yourself? So same thing, you want to be able to test that out. You want to be able to figure out which ones work for you or not. Number 3, which formats can you produce consistently without burning out? So a big thing about picking a format is like there might be some formats that take a lot of time to do. There might be some formats that take a lot of energy and preparation to do. And so you want to be able to produce content consistently without burning out. Cool, you might have some more formats that take a little bit more time. Sure, they're a little bit more in depth. They're a little bit more time to set up. But you want to make sure that you also have a mix of formats that are very easy to do on the go, very easy to produce consistently, because you don't want a lot of friction in there. You want to reduce as much friction as possible so that way you're able to film consistently, you're able to film very easy, and you're able to film just very boom, 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 and consistent, and you show up for your audience and they recognize you from that specific format. So first, figure out the formats that feel natural to you, and the ones that drain you, cut them entirely. So pull up the free doc right now and lock in your 3 to 4 formats. So with your topic set, in your format set, there is one last piece, making sure people are actually searching for what you're talking about. And that is where in-demand topics come in. This is such an important section, you guys. Ever since I learned this, my business and my clients' results have exploded. Most coaches create content about what they want to talk about, but not what their audience is already searching for. There is a gap between what you think people want to hear and what they are actually looking for. Most coaches never close that gap. So their content gets ignored, not because it's bad, but because nobody was looking for it. The coaches who grow fast don't just create, they create what people are already looking for. This is what I call stealing demand. Stealing demand means finding what your audience is already interested in and bringing your unique perspective to it. You are not copying, but instead you are borrowing attention that already exists. Look at what's performing in your space right now. What topics are people engaging with? What questions are they already asking? What conversations are already happening? And now you bring your unique POV to those topics that are already trending, that people are interested in. And that is how you get views and build trust at the same time. You borrow the demand that's already out there in the marketplace. You don't need to create demand for yourself, and you just bring your perspective to it to make it yours. So here's how I do it. I don't reinvent the wheel, I just spin it my way. So for example, let's take a topic in my space that everyone talks about, is how to get clients on social media. So instead of posting the same content that they're posting on how to get clients on social media, start running ads, start doing this, start doing that, right? I bring my unique POV to that specific topic that everybody's interested in. So my angle is that most coaches think Getting clients is a content problem, but I show them it's a relationship problem. Same demand, but completely different perspective, and that's what makes it mine. Because it's a unique perspective to the marketplace, they're like, okay, cool, wow, this dude thinks a certain way about this. So you want to find out what your audience is already searching for. What are they interested in? What questions are they asking? And then say something about it that only you could say because of your unique perspective, and that will make in-demand topics. So here is how you find yours. Number one, what topics are already performing well in your space? Go search it up. Go on Instagram. Look at comments that people are commenting on. Search up your topics. Figure out what people are having struggles with. What did you struggle with personally? What are your clients struggling with personally? Number two, what questions does your audience ask repeatedly? You'll be able to figure this out. Talk to yourself. What struggles did you go through? Did your clients go through? What are people on social media saying? Number three, what conversations are already happening to you that you have a unique perspective on? So figure out in your life right now, what are some things that people are saying in my life that I have a unique perspective on, that I think that what they are doing and what they're focusing on is the wrong thing, and instead they should be focusing on this. Number four is, what is everyone in your space saying that you would say differently? So this is what you're going to figure out as you find out your in-demand topics and the things that you stand for, that you're able to say differently and stand out from the marketplace. So go to your top 3 competitors right now. These could be some people that you just like that are in your industry, and look at their most viewed content and write down the topics of their most viewed pieces of content. And you're able to see those are in-demand topics. Now you want to add your POV to it. So you could basically take a certain topic that they have that's gone viral, that gets some good views, that gets some good audience. You need to be able to identify what is good in the brand. Just because a video got millions of views or it got a lot of views doesn't necessarily mean that you want to do it, because it's not going to bring you the quality of people that you want to talk to. So you want to make sure that you figure out the right content that you want to do, that's been able to bring them the most audience, and find those in-demand topics and add your unique POV to it, so that way it makes it yours and you're not copying what they're doing. So pull up the free doc right now and list 10 in-demand topics in your space right now. Once you know what to talk about, the next step is knowing how it all fits together into a system that turns viewers into clients. This is the funnel. Most coaches post content with no strategy behind it. They treat every post the same. That's why nothing compounds. There are 3 types of people watching your content right now. They are people who have never heard of you. There's people who know you but don't trust you yet. And then there's people who are ready to buy. And if you only post one type of content, you are serving one group and ignoring the others. A funnel is just the path someone takes from never hearing you to becoming a client. Your job is to create content for every step of that path. So here are the 3 types of content that you need to post. Number 1 is top of funnel content. This is awareness content. This is for people who have never heard of you. This gets eyes on your page. This is a thing that's going to get the most views. And most of the time, a lot of you guys are just posting top of funnel content in your guys' brand, in your guys' business, and just getting eyeballs, seeking views, seeking all this stuff. But it's not going to turn it into actual cash. It's not going to turn it into actual relationships being built. It's just going to turn it into people seeking your videos to just be entertained. Number 2 is middle of funnel content. This is value content. This is for people who follow you but don't trust you yet. And so as you post this middle funnel content, you are building credibility, because as soon as you meet someone, let's say top of funnel content is you meeting someone for the very first time and introducing yourself, right? They like you, they want to become friends with you. But now, middle of funnel, you need to nurture that relationship in order if you want them to become friends with you. So this is where you explain who you are, you share a little bit about who you are. They get to know you a little bit better, you spend more time with them, and that relationship gets nurtured and it builds trust. And then number 3 is bottom of funnel content. This is conversion content. This is for people who are ready to buy. And this drives the action. This is for the people that you've been able to build a lot of trust. And they're like, hey, like, you want this? Okay, sure, yeah, I like this. I like what you've been able to do. Most coaches only post top of funnel content and they grow followers, but they never convert them. You need to be running all 3 of these at the same time to make sure that you are able to get the attention, nurture your attention, and then convert your attention. Always remember, what they see is what they think. What they think is what they do. And you control that sequence. You are literally in control of what the person behind the camera is seeing and is understanding about you. That is the most crazy part about social media, is that you can program and you have all of this stuff already set up before, and you are already understanding what the client, what the viewer is going through as they're seeing your content. So I always think about this as like, I am able to control the sequence on exactly what they actually do because I control what they think, and what they think is what they do. So that's why it's very important to be able to do all three of these, because without these, I mean, you're not going to convert anything. So here's exactly how I use all three. So very first, top of funnel, this is going to be like my lifestyle content. This is going to be showing my world, showing my process, showing my story, getting new eyes on my page, saying stuff that are talking about mindset, about business, about success, anything basically that someone new can understand very, very easily. And it's very broad and it's very wide, and it's going to bring eyeballs to my page. It's going to bring followers. It's going to bring likes. It's going to bring comments. It's going to bring shares. And it's basically just engagement. Number two is middle of funnel content. This is teaching content. This is me basically breaking down frameworks, breaking down systems, breaking down concepts. This is building trust with people who are already watching me. So as soon as the top of funnel basically gets them, then they follow me, and then they get nurtured through the middle of funnel to understand my business, what I do, and how I can help them. And then number three is bottom of funnel. This is me showing my client results. This is me showing testimonials, direct CTAs, and then converting people who are already warm. Too much top of funnel and you grow but never convert. Too much bottom of funnel and your page feels like a sales pitch. All three working together is what builds the business. So audit your content right now. How many of the last 10 posts were top of funnel awareness content for new people? Actually audit your brand and audit, what type of content am I posting? Who is this attracting to? Is it making it stand out? Am I unique? Am I blending in like everybody else? Why would someone want to follow me? Number two, how many were middle of funnel value content for people who are already following you? Figure out, okay, was I nurturing the people who are already followed me? Was I building the relationship? Was I expanding the communication with them? Number three, how many were bottom of funnel conversion content for people ready to buy? So there might be some people in here that are ready to buy that have already trusted you, that are very interested. But let's say you don't post any bottom of funnel content, then you're missing out on a conversion. You're missing out on people to help. And so that's why it's very important to have this. And you want to figure out, okay, how much did I post? Did I even post any? Maybe I did, or maybe I'm posting too many and it looks like a sales pitch on my page and I'm very salesy. At the end of the day, you don't really want to be thinking about like salesy and like, okay, am I being too hard on this or that? You want to always be thinking that you are here to serve. Your business is here to serve. And so when you put yourself in that mindset that what I have is going to genuinely help this person, and it is a disservice for them to just continue what they are doing to not get help, and you change your mindset to that, you will no longer be feeling, okay, am I being too salesy? Am I doing that? Because you know the value and you know the actual transformation that your product or service can bring to these people. And so when you put that mindset that you are here to serve as much people as possible, and if they don't like it, they don't like it, cool. But you are here to genuinely help and transform these people, that goes away instantly. What you post more on depends on your business needs right now. So let's say if you need more eyes on your page, you want to post top of funnel content. If you need more trust on your page, if you already have all these followers or have followers but they don't trust you, you don't think so, you want to post more middle of funnel content. And then if you need more sales and you have people in there and you have people that trust you, you want to be posting bottom of funnel content, and you are in control of the outcome. So always make sure that you map this out and you understand this. A rule of thumb, just general rule of thumb for everybody, is having a 40-40-20 split. So that would mean 40% top of funnel, 40% middle of funnel, and then 20% bottom of funnel. And so you could diversify this. Let's say you post one time a day, every single day, 30 reels a month. All you need to do is post 12 top of funnel videos to get eyeballs onto your page to bring you followers, 12 middle of funnel content videos to nurture the people who are already in there and build trust with them, and then 6 bottom of funnel pieces of content to nurture the people who are ready to buy. And so this all just really depends on your stage and where your business is at right now. You need to audit, okay, am I in need of more eyes? Am I in need of more trust, or am I in need of more sales? And so you will be able to identify that based on where your business is at, and it will fluctuate and it will change depending on where you're currently at. That is how you figure out what pieces of content that you actually need to post. So pull up the free doc right now and map out your content ratios. How much of this piece of content am I going to do and this and this and that? And decide what you are going to be posting more of starting now. This alone will change your business dramatically. If you haven't been doing this, now you'll start to make more sales. Next is the ideation process. Now that you know what types of content to post, the next question is how you come up with ideas consistently. And so most coaches sit down to film and they have no idea what to say. They just pull up their phone and, oh, I don't know what to say on this. They scroll for inspiration and they copy what worked for someone else and they just guess on their content. It's not unique. It's not something that makes them stand out. Every day they waste energy trying to figure out what to post instead of actually posting. Ideation without a system is just exhaustion. You spend hours thinking and never creating anything. And you're just consuming all these other people, but you are not producing yourself for your own life. Your ideas are what people pay attention to. You get paid for your creativity, so protect it with a system. Every piece of content that you create needs to start with these 3 questions. Number 1, who am I talking to? Identify the specific person you are creating this for. Who am I talking to? Who is the person behind this camera that is the most in need for my product and service, and is the obvious choice that they are the person that I need to go with? They're speaking to me. Number 2, how do I want them to feel after watching? The emotion you want to create. Every single video that you create needs to have emotion. Every single video that you create needs to have love. It needs to have a relationship built. That's how you build relationships. It's through emotions, through an emotional connect. So figure out before you start the content, how do I want them to feel after watching this video? And then number 3 is, what is the one thing you want them to take away from hearing your video? The single idea or message they will remember. When you can answer all 3 of these before you hit record, the content almost creates itself. You will know exactly what to create and no more guessing on what to post. One thing I really want to emphasize is one thing most people get backwards, and that's emotion and topic will always come before a hook. People think, okay, the hook is the most important part of my video. I need to make sure I have this crazy hook. But think about it. A great hook on a dead topic will never perform. You say you have a topic that nobody cares about and you could chat GBT some crazy hook, or you could go on Instagram for those guys that give out 50 viral hooks and you can use them, but your topic wasn't good, so that's why it didn't perform. If these hooks were so great, then everybody who does these hooks would be able to generate a lot of views, but it's not like that because the topic and the emotion that you create is the number 1 determining factor of whether or not your video will do good or not. A powerful topic with a weak hook will always outperform it. If you always think of those videos that you see online that get millions of views, and so it could possibly just be like a dude sitting there talking on his phone, but the topic that he's talking about is very entertaining and interesting to the people, and he didn't come up with this crazy hook because the topic is actually something that people are interested in. Everyone obsesses over the hook and ignores the topic completely. They have it backwards. The thing that you want to nail first is the topic and then the emotion. And so then you write your hook to match exactly what you're talking about. The hook gets them to stop. The topic and the idea is what gets them to stay. So you want to make sure that you have these always correlated before you do your hook. And also when you think about their emotion and the topic that you want to do, coming up with the hook is way easier. So where do you find ideas in the first place? Before I give you the sources, you need to understand this first. This is a personal brand. It is your life, it is your perspective, and it is your story. Most coaches ideate by copying other people. They ask AI for viral videos, and they scroll and replicate what everybody else is doing. The result is content that looks like everybody else and gives people no reason to follow you specifically. Nobody buys from the person that they've seen copied 100 times. Inspiration is fine, but copying is not. Everything you create runs through your brand, your language, and your perspective. So these are the 4 places you want to get your ideas from. Number 1, most important, is your life. This is you talking about your pillars, your belief, your perspective, your observations, and your client conversations. Your life is the most interesting thing that people want to be a part of. It is the most interesting thing that you want to become an example. You need to be an example for the people that you lead. And how are you going to become an example and become the person that you need to become with following and copying what all these other people are doing, but yet people are craving to understand you, to get to know you, to want to build a relationship with you, to want to spend time with you, but yet you are not being yourself and you're still focused on copying all these other people, and you will never truly unlock who you are without first understanding that your life is the number 1 most important thing that you can make videos on about. Number 2 is AI used the right way. This is trained on your brand to amplify what you already know. Most people go on AI and they tell it to do things that they don't know yet, but AI really just amplifies more if you truly, the human behind the AI is the most important thing on the AI, and if you have the knowledge, if you have the resources, and you're able to expand more about what you know, then you're just going to succeed. But if you're asking AI to make viral videos or make viral topics, it doesn't know any of that. You need to understand, implement through data that this works, and you take what works and you feed it to AI and you amplify it. But it's trained on your brand and it already knows exactly what videos are working for you and understands how you speak and understands your language. And you could use it for inspiration to come up with certain videos. Number 3 is inspiration. This is where you figure out what's working in your space. This is where you recreate in your own voice videos, but you never copy. You just recreate and add your unique POV into them, like we were talking about earlier. Number 4 is long form extraction. This is one piece of content that gets turned into many short ones. So for example, this long YouTube video, I can make these into reels because let's say I need to film a bunch of reels, or I could film a YouTube video and clip them up and figure out the exact topics that I want to talk about in that YouTube video to make them into reels, and I will have hooks specifically for each of those topics. And so let's say I film a 30-minute YouTube video and I'm able to get 5 to 10 short form clips from there. So I'm able to just really knock out one piece of content, but able to get both YouTube and short form content. And this is places where you can get ideas from, and you basically just extract them from what you already were doing. Once you master these 4, you will never sit down wondering what to post again. So remember, it starts with your life. This is the richest source that you have and nobody can copy. So go back to your content pillars, your beliefs, and your perspective, and the things that you stand for. These are endless content ideas because they are simply about you talking about what you already know and what you believe. Add to that what you see every day, observations in your space, questions your clients are asking, the struggles they bring you, the things you had to overcome yourself. One habit I want to let you guys know that makes this work is keeping a note doc with you 24/7. So basically, I can have on my notes app, on my notes app, I literally have a note specifically for my life whenever I get like ideas or I need to write down something, because you never know, like you could be out there and an idea will spark into your mind. And so I make sure to write that down because I know that I will forget. And so when you keep a note doc with you 24/7 and you just write down content ideas that pop up into your mind based on your life and certain things that you're doing, you just write them down and you were able to articulate and make a video off of that later on. Ideas come consistently throughout the day, and if you don't write them down the moment they hit, they're pretty much gone. So the more you live in your world, the more content you will have that nobody else can ever make. Always remember that. This is the most important part. Then there's AI. Most coaches use AI wrong. They ask it to make viral videos and it spits out generic content that sounds like everybody else. Here's the truth. AI cannot do what you don't know, and it can only amplify what you already know. So you have to train it. You need to open up a project, name it your personal brand, and upload everything you know about your story, your pillars, your SOPs, your resources, and your voice. The more it knows about you, the better it works. Then treat it like an employee, not a vending machine. You want to make sure that you're talking to it like a real person. Tell it what you want, what you don't want, what you like, and what you don't like. The person who knows their craft and uses AI to amplify it wins every single time. AI does not replace your knowledge, it multiplies it, and you stay in control. I am also going to give you guys the exact framework I use to feed my AI. This is the same framework my team and I use to create short form content that performs, and I built it specifically for short form, not YouTube, and it covers 5 areas that make your content land. So it's going to be telling the AI how to make attention content, how to make it relevant, how to communicate, how to structure, and how to get results. And I put the entire framework in the free doc, every single point, everything written out, so you could really just copy and paste the whole prompt that I give you and feed it into your AI, and it'll make you a fire video. Then there's inspiration. This is going online and seeing what is already working in your space. Following creators in your space, scroll your feed, pay attention to what formats are performing right now. So how do you know if something is working? You cannot see how much money someone makes, but what you can see is engagement. Likes, comments, saves, shares, and the ratio against their follower account. If people are reacting and saying good things, that is a signal. But here's the rule. Just because something went viral does not mean it works for you. It has to fit your brand first, and never copy. Take what is working and recreate it in your language, your brand, and your positioning. The moment people see you copying others, your perceived value drops very fast. So borrow an idea, never the execution. Always make it your own. Then there's the long form extraction. You want to film one piece of content, a podcast, a YouTube video, a long talking session, then pull short form clips out of it. One recording session can feed your whole week, but do not only post YouTube clips every single day. Let's say I don't want to make any reels. All I'm going to do is film YouTube videos and just extract all those clips. People want variety. They don't want to feel like they're watching the same thing over and over and over again. Sprinkling in long form clips does 2 things. It makes new people curious about your YouTube because they're like, oh wow, I've never seen this. Where is this coming from? And it reassures the people who are already watched it by reinforcing what you taught. So let's say people already watched it on YouTube. Okay, you don't need to worry about them rewatching it again because people need to hear 1,000 times the same thing over and over again in order for them to understand. So you film it once, you use it everywhere, just don't let it become everything that you post. Also, never force the clips too when you're clipping up these YouTube videos. Most people will film a long video and they try to rip out 10 clips no matter what. They film a 30-minute YouTube video and they're like, bro, I'm gonna get 15 clips from here. You know, we're gonna transcribe these, we're gonna let AI clip these up, and we're gonna post them on our social media. But the thing is that the clips come out weak because the moments were never actually there. You were never intentional about that specific point that you were emphasizing, and sure, it made it sound good on the YouTube video, but as far as short form content, they got no context for what you're talking about. Sometimes a video only has one strong clip on it, to be honest. I could film a whole hour YouTube video and I might honestly only get one clip from there because of the way that it correlates and the things that you need to do. It takes a lot of time, but that's completely fine. You always want to remember quality over quantity every single time. So here's a fix if you're struggling with this. Before you film your long form content, plan your hooks ahead of time for each point you want to clip. So let's say I'm about to film a YouTube video and I understand, okay, I like this topic, I like this topic, I like this topic. As I'm filming that YouTube video, I will say the hook, but I won't put it into the YouTube video. I'll clip that up out of the YouTube video so it's in the short form content. But now I have an actual hook and I have a start and an end to the actual, like that specific segment of the YouTube video that I'm gonna do, and I'm able to clip that into short form pieces of content because I already choreographed and had this planned out before I filmed the YouTube video. So you film the hook, then teach the lesson. Now you know going in exactly which clips will work instead of hoping to find them later. You have reassurance and know, okay, cool, I already have 5 videos from here. That's good. I know how many videos I'm going to clip up from this long YouTube video. Don't pull random clips and hope they land. That's not intentional. That's not a strategy. That's terrible. Know your clips before you hit record. That's how you're going to get the most intentional and the most powerful pieces of short form content when you're clipping up YouTube videos. One more thing you guys need to understand about your content before you start posting is that you don't decide if your content is good. Your audience does. You see, most people think they control what counts as quality, but they don't. Your audience describes with how they respond. You yourself can say, I want to make this masterpiece, but your audience wants something differently. The data tells you everything you need to know. The comments that people are commenting on your things, the saves, the shares, and the watch time. This is feedback, and this is how you know what is actually landing with the people that you're talking about. So do not guess if your content is good. To say, I think my content is good, but my data is saying otherwise. You post, you watch the responses, and you let the data show you what your audience really wants more of, and you create more of what the audience wants more of. This is why it's so crucial to go in depth, go deep inside your brand before expanding into all this quantity and wanting to post all these videos, because first off, your content is not good because your audience doesn't like what you're doing. So really get deep down and figure out what your audience actually wants and is doing, and then you're able to expand into more quantity because you know your quality is good. So here's how the whole process looks for me. It started with paying attention to my world. I kept noticing the same things in my clients' conversations, coaches posting every day but still not getting clients. They're just posting on social media but it's not able to convert. And that became an idea. And then I ran that idea into 3 questions. First, who am I talking to? This is a coach with the skill who is posting but not converting. Second, the feeling. I wanted them to feel like they finally understood why nothing has been working. Number 3 is the value. I break down why personal brand is a relationship problem and not a content problem. And so then the hook that I produced when I figured out who am I talking to, how do I want to make them feel, and what value am I giving them, is the reason your content is not getting you clients has nothing to do with your content. So immediately, who is it talking to? The reason your content is not getting clients, that's already talking to someone who posts. The feeling, how do I want them to make them feel? This is already getting them to feel, okay, oh wow, like this dude is talking directly to me. And then the value, I'm showing them why they're not getting clients has nothing to do with the content that they think that they're doing, and I'm sharing them a new perspective and I'm giving them value. But you see, the idea came from paying attention to my world, the things that I was able to see in my daily conversations. And then the 3 questions shaped that idea, and then the hook brought it to life. That's the whole process. So now it's your turn. Step 1, pick your source. Pull an idea from your life, your client conversation, something you saw for inspiration, or a long form video. Number 2, run it through the 3 questions. First, who are you talking to? How do you want them to feel after watching? And what value will you give them that creates that feeling? And then the next step is to write the hook that actually brings that video to life. So pull up the free doc right now, run this full process on your next 5 content ideas, and watch how easy and effortless this becomes to create content, and you will actually know what videos to post for your brand, for your clients that they will like, and truly build quality content that you are able to replicate and do very easily, and it'll just become second nature to you. Now that you know what to post and how to come up with the post, now you need a system to stay consistent. You see, most coaches post when they feel like it, but that's not a strategy. That is hoping for results. They have no schedule, they have no plan, and then they have no consistency. They film when they're motivated, and they post when they remember, and they wonder why nothing is building. Remember, consistency is not just about showing up, but it's about staying on top of mind of your followers. When people stop seeing you, they stop thinking about you. That's why consistency is so important. People just say consistency, just stay consistent, so it will build your followers to do that. No, consistency, you're doing it to stay on top of mind for these people, because the second that they stop seeing you, they stop thinking about you. And remember, you control what they think, so you control what they do. So staying on top of mind allows you to do that. The goal is simple. Be the first person they think of when they are ready to buy. You cannot do that by posting randomly. It's the truth. Think about it like going to the gym. You would not go to the gym randomly and expect results. You show up on the same days every week. You follow a program and you track your progress. Your content calendar works exactly the same. The days you post, the type of content going out each day, the platform it goes on, all of it is planned in advance, so you always know what to post. Consistency builds top of mind. Top of mind builds trust, and then trust builds clients. You are not just posting content, but you are deciding what your audience thinks about and when. So here's what mine looks like. Every week is mapped out before it starts. I know exactly what type of content is going out each day, which funnel stage it serves, and which platform it goes on first. Nothing gets posted randomly. Everything has a specific purpose. When the week starts, I'm not thinking about what to post or I need to film this, I need to film this. I'm only thinking about how to deliver it at the highest level. One tool I want to introduce you guys to is Metricool. This is not a paid sponsor or any of that. This is what I use specifically for me and all of my clients. And this is a tool to help you with scheduling and manage everything. And you're able to actually map everything out on an actual content calendar and on an actual platform. I've tried the other posting platforms, but they just never seem to work as good as Metricool. I've never had any problems with Metricool, and it makes it very easy too for posting and scheduling, but not just specifically for you, but for your poster and scheduler that you hire someday. And so for example, mine, all of my posts get scheduled and posted from my scheduler, and same with my clients. And it's very, very easy for them to actually just go on there and upload it and write the captions and all of that. And so one thing that I actually used to think too before I did this is that there was like a belief that I had that like these posting tools would tank your views, that they would, you know, ban your account or something or that. And so it just got to the point where I was getting too much clients. And so I was manually having to post every single, like for these clients, I basically did everything for them. I posted all their content for them. And so I didn't believe in posting platforms. And so I basically every single day I would get up and I had like all these clients, and I would literally need to post every single one individually, copy and paste the hashtags on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on YouTube Shorts. And I would do that. I would spend like freaking like an hour or two just posting every single day. And it just got to the point where I'm like, okay, dude, I can't be doing this. This is not scalable. I even tried to hire someone to do it, but it was just getting too complicated. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to give a posting tool a try. I texted one of my friends who works with a very successful entrepreneur, and he's built his personal brand as well to multiple hundreds of thousands of followers. And I was asking him, I was like, hey, dude, do you guys use any posting platform or any of that? And then he recommended me Metricool. I asked him about, does it do this? Does it do that? Does it tank your views? And he said no. And I was like, cool, might as well give it a shot. I've been doing this and it's been burning me out, and I really, really need help, and I need to delegate this. And so I tried it out, and like literally the first time I tried it out, all the views were staying the same. It was so easy because all I needed to do was just click one little click, and it was able to post the whole content for me. And so I'm going to show you guys that right now, exactly what it looks like. All right, so you're going to search up metricool.com. And so this is what it looks like. You're going to want to go ahead and create your account. I'm just going to log in because I already have my account on here. And so basically all you need to do on here is you need to connect your account. You're gonna go over here and then you're gonna add your account. And so basically it's very easy. All you need to do is I connected my Instagram right here. Whatever that you wanna post to, honestly. Just make sure that you connected on here. It's very easy to connect. And so you'll see it right here, what's connected, what's not. These still need connection and these have been connected. And so all you need to do is go over here to the planning. This is where you're gonna have like your, where you're gonna see what post to do. And so let's say I wanna post today at 3 p.m. I'll simply just click right here. And so you'll see create a new post. And so Mr. Jonas Soto, okay, cool. You're gonna go ahead and click here and you're gonna make sure that this is on reel, or let's say you wanna post a trial reel or a story or a post, you figure out what that is. Click a reel. This right here is unchecked. I wanna make sure I check this because I wanna post on TikTok. And then you'll see the other ones on here too, like YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. And you wanna make sure that they're checked. When they're unchecked, that's how you know like they're not posting to there. So you wanna make sure they're checked and they'll show up here also. But once you do that, you want to go ahead and take your video. Let's say you're going to go right here and you're literally just add video, and then you're going to go on your computer and figure out the file that you want to do. And then you want to write your caption on here. So basically you're going to write your caption. So let's say the reason your content getting new clients. And I'll basically go here. And then boom, that's basically all. If you want to add hashtags, go ahead and do it. You just put like this, viral, trending, For You page, explore, personal branding, right there. And so I already have this all set up. And so basically all you need to do is you will need to see all these little errors. Obviously I need to add like add a video in here. Let's take one of these old videos that I have, an old piece of content that I created. And so wait for this to upload. All right, cool. Now this little schedule thing is good. You could also go on here and click upload video thumbnail if you want a thumbnail, or you could just literally select it by the frame. So you're able to set a thumbnail. So you're like, okay, cool, I like this. Accept that. It'll set the thumbnail and it'll make sure to post that. And then that's how simple it is. And then all you need to do is literally schedule and it'll send the video, and you'll be able to see right here your whole calendar. You'll be able to see, okay, cool, I have post here, here, and here going out. And it makes it very, very easy. And you have reporting on here. You have analytics. You can check like DMs and inboxes, and you can do all of that. So very great tool. Make sure you use this for your guys' scheduling. So in order to build your content calendar right now, figure out what days are you posting every week. Figure out how many times a week are you posting. Number 2, what funnel stage does each day serve? Top of funnel, middle, and bottom. Which days are being specific to that funnel stage? Number 3, what platform does each post go on first? What are you posting on? What platforms are you posting on? And then 4, how far in advance are you scheduling? As you use Metricool, figure out how far in advance are you going to be scheduling these videos to make sure that you are always up to date and have the most energy to give out to the videos that you're doing right now, because you're not worried about the videos that you need to film right now because they're already pre-scheduled. So open Metricool right now, set up your posting schedule, and schedule your next week of content before you close this video. Pull up the free doc right now and map out your weekly content calendar. On stage 4, we're gonna go deep on posting strategy, how often to post, the truth about timing, captions, and cross-posting across platforms. For now, just map out your week, and that was it for the number 2, the stage 2 content section. All right, guys, stage 3, this is the production section. This is where ideas come to life. And these are gonna be 4 different parts of the production section. We're gonna be going over your setup. We're gonna going over your scripting. We're gonna be going over recording and editing. So we're gonna be going over the gear and what specific things to do to dial in your environment, how to structure what you say before you film, how to properly script the things that you are gonna do before you film your video. Recording, how to film the right way that makes it feel professional, how to set certain things up. And then editing, turning your raw footage into content that actually holds attention. So the very first step is going to be your setup. And this is where most people lose before they even begin. Most coaches have too much friction between them and filming. They don't just film, the lighting takes too long to set up, the camera is in a whole nother room, the backdrop looks different every time, and by the time everything is ready, their energy is gone. Friction kills consistency before it even starts. If your setup is not ready in under 10 minutes, you will always find a reason not to film. This is why it's so important to have as little friction as possible. Your setup needs to have 3 things. Number 1, it needs to be easy. Everything is in one place. Nothing to search for, nothing to figure out. You sit down and you're ready. As I'm sitting here right here, I have my light, I have my camera, I have my computer right here. And it's very simple, it doesn't move, it's very fast and easy and efficient for me to do. Number 2, fast. Under 10 minutes from decision to filming. If it takes longer, you will not do it consistently. Number 3, reliable. The same lighting, same backdrop, same quality every time, and your audience starts to recognize your environment as part of your brand. This doesn't mean you can film in different locations. You can film in different locations and keep things fresh, but just keep the quality and your core look consistent so your brand stays recognizable. Remove every point of friction. The easier you make it to film, the more you will film. It's that simple, guys. You want to make it very easy and effortless for you to film, so that way you can film as much as possible without needing to set up all these things and you waste your energy on all of that setup, and you can use it to pour out to the people that you're helping. So here's the gear that you actually need. You already have most of this stuff, and don't let equipment be the reason that you do not start posting and filming yourself and getting your videos out there. The first thing you need is a camera, and your phone is enough. You don't need anything professional to begin. All you need is a phone. All you need is a recording device. And so let's say you want to upgrade your setup. You can always have a camera, right, to make it look better, make it look nicer. But honestly, you just need a phone to start. You could be making and doing all this stuff on your phone. The next thing is a mic. A standard external mic makes a big difference on how clean your content feels. So basically, that's like the little mic that I'm wearing right now. I have these DJI 2 or something like that mics. And so I basically just have a lavalier right here on, and so it's like a little line. It's called a lavalier if you search it up, and it basically just connects right here, and this is like what the mic is right here. And so it just makes it clean, it makes it professional, and so yeah, I would recommend those mics for sure. I mean, audio is important, but if you don't have a microphone, then just your camera microphone from your phone is enough. Just make sure that you are in a quiet environment, that you're able to do it or speaking loud enough, or you could also use the wired headphones that you have, and you could speak through there. Next is natural lighting, works great. You can also add a mini LED light if you film indoors. So not like one of these, I have one of these big like mesh things. I'll go ahead and show you guys what you guys can get. This is what I mean right here. One of these little block things. This is like a mini LED light. And so basically you turn it on, and so like let's say you want to have good lighting. I turn this on and I can adjust this. I can adjust obviously like the temperature and the brightness and all that stuff. And so I basically have this for my phone. I attach my phone. There's a little connection on here. And I basically just attach it on here, and then boom, you have your own lighting, and then you have a little tripod for your phone, and then you have that. So this is a good investment right here if you, it's pretty cheap, and you're able to help your lighting with that. If you always want to make sure that you're able to control your lighting as much as possible, just because you want to be in control of your environments. But if not, it's all cool, totally cool. Natural lighting works as well. And then a mount, a tripod or something so your shots are stable. This could be this for your phone if you're using a phone, or if you have a camera, just using your buying a tripod to make sure the camera is like holding and not moving. So start with what you have and upgrade over time, guys. You don't need to upgrade and have this crazy setup when you first start. Gear should never be the thing stopping you from posting content. You're always going to think, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need the best things, but that is just fear, that is just doubt, that is just disbelief being fed into your mind. And you need to be always just grateful for what you have and grateful for the message that you get to teach, and people will resonate with the message that you teach, not on how it looks. So always remember that. Just go ahead and start and posting content. That's the #1 message. So here's mine. I have my camera already mounted and positioned. It's set up right here. It doesn't move. Unless I'm taking it obviously somewhere, I'm going somewhere, then I'll do it. But usually I just film right here. This is a setup that I like, that looks clean. #2 is lighting set up permanently. It looks the same every time. I have the same temperature. I have the same brightness on every time. And so it makes it very easy. I don't even need to change it. #3 is the backdrop consistent environment that matches my brand. I have this backdrop that's consistent with my brand, and I'm able to use this repeatedly, and it correlates with my brand and the things that I like. #4, everything is within arm's reach. I have my mic, I have my water, I have my notes, nothing to search for, right? I'm able to have my phone, I'm able to have my notes, I'm able to have my water, everything's arm's reach, so I'm very easy. I don't need to keep getting up and trying to find these things. Everything is right here. I can sit down and be filming in under 5 minutes. That's the goal. When your setup is this easy, excuses literally just disappear just because you're able to do it super effortlessly. So build yours right now. #1 is finding out, where is your filming spot? Is it always ready to go? Whether or not it's like at your house, whether or not it's a friend's house, whether or not it's like a podcast studio, whether or not you're going out there in the world and kind of doing your thing. You need to correlate and fit with your brand, obviously, and the topics and the pillars and the things that you want to talk about is going to determine where you film. And that's going to change, obviously. You want to add variety into your content, but you always want to make sure that you have like 3 good spots that you always consistently go to, and you know what you need to bring to each of those spots. Number 2 is how long does it currently take you to go from decision to filming? It should be very, very fast. If you're out there, you understand, okay, I have my mics, I know what I need, I have my lighting, I have this, I know the temperature to set this at, I know the brightness to set this at. When you know this stuff, filming becomes effortlessly. Number 3, is your lighting consistent every time you film? Just find a good, correct lighting from like every single set, right? You have the same temperature. These things are the same temperature all the time. These things are the same brightness all the time. They're already preset, so I don't even have to do anything. Just turn it on and be ready. Number 4, does your backdrop reflect your brand? You always want to make sure the visuals that you are showing, they're always matching some type of your brand and your aesthetic somehow. So for example, me, I don't wear like a lot of like vibrant colors. So obviously I wouldn't be in somewhere like where you would think this has like a bunch of like neon, a bunch of like pink, a bunch of like crazy colors. This is not my brand. That's not what I like. That's not what I'm like associated with. So I make sure that my backdrop reflects my brand, reflects my personality, reflects the things that I like. So that way it always comes off authentically like myself, and they correlate those specific things to your brand. So figure out exactly what that is for you and continue to do that, and use backdrops, use your environment for your advantage to actually showcase more people. And they will always remember you for those specific things because it's tied into who you are. If you cannot answer yes to all 4, fix your setup before you film a single piece of content. So pull up the free doc right now and write out your checklist setup right now. Every single thing that needs to be in place before you hit record. Once the setup is dialed in, the next step is knowing what you're going to say. Once the camera is ready, all that stuff, now you need to know what to say. The goal is to never sound scripted. There are a few ways that people film. Some read word for word off of a teleprompter. They'll put a teleprompter on the computer and they'll just read word for word. You could also pull up your phone and read from the teleprompter and just read word for word like that. But some people write the full script and memorize it, and then some just wing it. And here's what's wrong with both. Reading word for word kills your authenticity. Winging it makes you lose the point halfway through. You're reading it word for word. The number one thing you want to do is be convicted in what you're saying. Have authenticity in what you're saying. But if you're reading a pre-written thing, you're not going to be yourself. Then if you're winging it, you need to know first off the points that you are going to be doing. Because then if you are just winging it, you will forget some of the points that you are doing in the main message and the 3 things that you need to remember before you film any single video. The sweet spot is having your talking points locked in before you hit record. Understanding the things, the person you're talking to, understanding the payoff that they're getting and the emotion that they're going to feel. You need to know exactly what you are covering and in order, but the words come from you naturally. So here are 3 ways to lock in your talking points. Number 1 is you can have bullet points. Write out the key things you want to hit and read them before you film. Then just talk. So that way you understand, okay, I'm going to talk on this, I'm going to talk about this, and I want to hit all of these points. Number 2 is the question format. Have someone ask you the question on camera. You answer naturally. This works great for people who freeze when they're directly talking to a lens. So instead of me just coming up with something to say, I'll just have someone in the background ask me a question and then I'll answer that question, and it'll be a little bit more authentic. But you just need to make sure that you answer that very first beginning of that hook accordingly, because you can't just say, like, if someone says, how do you get more views? And I say, yeah, so how do you get more views? Like, no, that's not it. You need to restate kind of what they say and then go into it. Number 3 is hook written out. Write your first line word for word, nail the first 3 seconds, and let the rest flow naturally. That's like the only thing you kind of want to have like scripted, you know? There's no wrong method. Just find the one that works for you the best and makes you sound like yourself the most. You could test all 3 and find out which one feels most natural to you, and then just use that one every single time. Here is exactly how I do it. So before I film anything, I lock these 3 things in. Who am I talking to? How do I want them to feel? And the one point I want them to walk away with. Then after that, I write my hook out word for word so the first 3 seconds are sharp. Then I have 3 to 5 bullet points to keep me on track. Sometimes I won't write the hook because I just want it to be even more natural. Sometimes I will, but it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling about the video. And so that's it. I don't use a teleprompter. I don't use a script. Just enough to keep me focused and enough freedom to be myself. And the moment you start sounding like you're reading, I'm just going to lose the audience. So I stay on my talking points and stay in my voice, but I don't like something controlling me on how I should be talking or how I should be speaking. So your authenticity is your greatest asset. Remember, use it. No script can replicate it. So this is going to be prepping your next video right now. First, figure out who are you talking to. Next, how do you want them to feel after watching? Third, what is one point they walk away with? Fourth, write your hook word for word if that helps you out. Number 5, write 3 to 5 bullet points to keep you on track to understand what you're going to be hitting in that video. Do this before every single video. The more you do it, the faster it gets. And then you're able to make videos very, very fast because you understand all of these things and you're able to repeat them very easily. So pull up the free doc right now and prep your next pieces of content right now using the exact format I just gave you. So with your script prepped, the next step is actually recording the actual video. The number one thing that determines your content quality is not your camera, it's your energy. You have a finite amount of energy every single day, and the content you film when your energy is high will always outperform the content you film when it's low. Your audience can feel the difference even through a screen. You guys can probably see earlier in the video, I was low-key drained. And so that's why I've been able to do this video, not all in one take, but I've actually split this around a few days. But I make sure that my energy is always the highest and I'm able to give the best to the people, because if it's just drained, I'm going to be forcing myself. It's not going to sound authentic, and you guys can feel it through the screen. So the goal is to always protect that energy and pour everything you have into the camera every single time that you hit record. I understand that my energy is valuable. I understand that your energy is valuable, that you need to get the best out of me. So I need to make sure that guard my stuff, that I make sure that I don't overdo it, and I know when it is time to stop recording. You want to film the most important content first while your energy is at the peak. So how do you actually run a filming session? Start with these 3 things. Number 1, knowing what you're filming. You want to make sure that you know what you're filming, obviously, before you film. So plan the session before you sit down. Are you filming reels? Are you filming a YouTube video? Are you filming both? Know exactly what you're going to be doing before you hit record. You don't want to set up the camera and figure out, oh, what am I going to film? Have that stuff already planned out beforehand. Number 2, filming your highest energy content first. Whatever takes the most out of you, do that first. At the start of the session, you'll always have the most energy, and throughout the end of the session, you're always going to have the least amount of energy. So make sure you use your energy correctly and wisely. Number 3 is adjust your tone to your format. A high energy and a deep YouTube breakdown require different energy levels. So know the difference before you film. If you film a YouTube video and you understand the energy, you understand the conviction that you want to do, understand how much that's going to take you. Obviously, me, I'm very passionate about what I do. So it takes a lot of energy for me to be able to pour out all this passion and all this. I'm trying to give you guys the best possible knowledge. So it will drain me, so I understand that, and I will adjust my tone based on the format of what I'm teaching. The best way to film is in batches, several pieces in one sitting instead of one a day. But you only really learn how your energy works by getting the camera in front of you and doing it. Preserve your energy, pour into what matters. Your audience counts on you to show up at your best every single time. So here's how I protect my energy. Before every filming session, I decide what I'm going to record in what order. I film the content that takes the most energy, usually my long form or my most detailed teaching content. So today, like literally, this is all I'm filming today because I understand how much energy and how much of my passion and creativity this is going to pour into you guys. So I make sure that this is the only thing I'm doing, so I give my all into this teaching. Then I move into shorter reels, and so I batch everything so I'm not setting up every single day. One good session gives me multiple pieces of content, and I never film when I drained. If the energy is not there, the content will never reflect it. And if I don't feel good, obviously I'm not going to post on my content because I want to make sure that I'm showing up the best for the people. And if they feel it, if I feel it, they can feel it. The people watching you are counting on you to show up as the authority. That requires energy, so protect it like your most valuable resource, because it is. You cannot give energy you do not have. So film when you have it. You always want to make sure, as you being the authority, you want to make sure that you're at least a couple levels up from your person that is viewing you. You want to make sure you're a couple levels up so that way you have that little bit of edge on them. So plan your next filming session right now. First, what are you going to be filming in this session? YouTube, Reels, both, just Reels, just YouTube, figure that out. Number 2, how many pieces? How many pieces of content am I doing? You're also going to need to film and figure out, okay, cool, how often can I film? How long of a duration can I film before I get tired? Number 3, which piece requires the most energy? Film that first. Let's say, okay, I have this long in-depth teaching, or I could do these little reels. Test it out, figure out what works for you. Sometimes you say, okay, I'm gonna do these little reels to warm up first, then I'm gonna move into the big teaching, or you move into the big teaching, put all of your energy on there, and then you're able to pour into the reels. But number one thing, guys, if you don't feel good, do not film it. Because let's say I film the whole YouTube video that requires the most energy draining, but then I move into my reels and I'm out of energy, like, I'm not gonna film that. So you always wanna make sure, number one thing is just determine and see how you feel. Guys, I'm not saying to follow your emotions and to say this and say that. Someday you might feel bad and you might feel a calling to do this video and do that. You'll do it on there, but obviously, like, as you're posting this content and doing this, you wanna show up the best as yourself. And then number 4, what time of day are you at your highest energy level? Figure that out. It could either be the morning, afternoon, midday. Figure out things that you need to do to get higher energy, right? This could be, for example, going outside, hitting the gym, right? Drinking water, staying hydrated. All that stuff will help you boost your energy, being able to produce more than you consume, so that way you're always able to give them the best possible thing that you've been able to do and bring into your life. Do not sit down to film without answering all 5 of these first. Walk in with a plan and then walk out with content. That's how simple it is. Pull up the free doc right now, plan your next filming session before you close this video. All right, once your content is filmed, the next step is editing. And this is where most people waste the most time. Editing is not your job, guys. You could spend hours editing one video. You could spend those same hours ideating, filming, and building relationships. Trust me, guys, I know this. I've been in the trenches. I've edited videos for such a long time. I've done this whole thing, and it makes no difference. It's something that should be delegated. You could spend hours and hours editing a video, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna perform any better. Better editing does not guarantee better performance. Some of the highest performing videos in the space are actually just raw and unpolished. And what matters is the idea and the delivery coming out, not the edit of the video. The moment you start editing your own content, you are choosing the wrong task. It is a low ROI activity that should never touch your calendar. There are people far better at editing than you. Let them do it. Your time goes towards only what you can do, which is getting better at your craft, studying, learning, and sharing that with your people. So you might think, I can't afford an editor yet. Yes, you can. Good editors are far cheaper than you think. You can find them for $5 to $10 a video if you know where to look. Start with onlinejobs.ph. That's Online Jobs Philippines. You could look there. They have a lot of great editors. Instagram, another great place. And then X. Once you start posting consistently, editors will even reach out to you as well. As you start to post content, editors will always be hitting you up on the DMs. When you find one, don't hop around between different editors. Build a relationship with one reliable person and make them your team. Pick them for reliability, speed, and communication, not just how flashy their edits are. And match the editor to your brand. You don't need crazy expensive edits. Some brands need polished and more professional edits, but some perform better raw. It just depends on how you want to be perceived. It depends on the videos that you want to make. Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And also through testing, as you start to post on content, you'll be able to see what your audience actually wants to see and determine as what is quality for your brand. If you truly cannot invest, edit for your own right now, but the goal is to hand this off as soon as possible. Your editing system needs 3 things. Number 1 is brand guidelines. Your editor needs to know exactly how your content should look and feel, right? So this is coming up with the colors, the fonts, the pacing, the text, the overlays, the music. Document it once, have this all written down on a Google Doc or somewhere, and send it to your editor so that way they have it for good, so they understand exactly how to make these videos specifically to your brand. Number 2, a clear handoff process. How do you send them over footage once you record it? Once I'm done filming this video, once you're done filming these videos, how do you send it over to them? Have a clean handoff process to send them footage. What notes specifically about that video do you want to include? What is the turnaround time? Remove all the guesswork for your editor so you understand exactly, right? Make it very easy for them to be able to produce as fast as possible. And number 3 is consistency. Every video should feel like it came from the same place. Your audience should recognize your content before they even see your face. So you don't want to be testing out, all these crazy different formats, all these crazy different types of edits. Here, I like this edit, I like this edit, I like this edit, I like this edit. Honestly, you shouldn't really care about too much about what you like. It's about what your audience likes. So figure that out. And then as you start to do this, right, you need to correlate your brand to specific things. So that's why of me, if I were to start doing all these crazy edits and all these crazy formats, right, it's not what my audience is used to seeing. But the thing is that you're not posting content for your audience. Most of the time, you're posting them for your non-followers, for the people who don't follow you, but you want those non-followers that don't follow you to be associated with the brand that you've already built and the things that you already have. So you want to make sure that you're always pushing that out into your brand, into your feed, so it looks like you, it breathes like you, and it is you. You film, they handle the rest. That's how you stay focused on really what matters. So here's my workflow. I film, then I send the footage to my editor with a brief note on anything specific I want. And then my editor handles everything else, the cuts, the text, overlays, the music, the pacing. And then I basically just review the final product and approve it, or I give them revisions if needed. This is the entire process. I don't touch the editing software. I don't spend time on it. My energy stays on ideas, delivery, and relationships. The only thing that I can do. Build your editing SOPs once. Your editor runs it every single time, and you never have to think about it again. So lock in your editing process. Number 1, are you still editing your own content, or do you have someone? Number 2, do you have a brand guideline document for your editor so they know how to make content for you? Number 3, what is your footage handoff process? Is it easy? Is it efficient? Is it repeatable? Number 4, what is the turnaround time expectation? You need to understand how long it really is going to take your editor to film a specific video for like this amount of duration, or how long it's going to take, so that way you're able to schedule accordingly. Number 5, does your content look consistent across every post? Are they correlating your background? Are they correlating your theme to your brand? If you do not have an editor yet, that is your next move after your video. Please stop wasting your time editing and get an actual editor. Editing your videos will not make any difference just because you think that you could do it. There's someone out there that could do it better than you. And you need to put your energy and your time in the right places. So pull up the free doc right now, document your editing process so it's ready the moment you bring someone on. All right, guys, stage 4, this is gonna be going over the distribution part of the section. Creating is half the job, making the content is half the job, but then the other half is the distribution, actually getting the content that you've made, getting it out there and showing it to the people. So we're gonna be going over 4 steps inside of this stage. We're gonna be going over posting cadence, how often to post and when it matters, captions, how to write captions to actually get read, cross-platform, getting one piece of content onto every platform the right way, and then consistency systems, the systems that keep you posting without burning out. The first step is posting cadence. How often and when you put your content out. Most coaches post when they feel inspired, when they have time, when they remember. That inconsistency is exactly why your audience never grows. Your followers are consuming content from dozens of creators every single day, and if you disappear for a week, they stop thinking about you. Someone else fills that space. Someone consistent, someone strategic. It is the fastest way to stay invisible. You are the mind behind your page. What they see is what they think. What they think is what they do. You control that only if you show up consistently. So let's answer the 2 questions everybody asks. How often should I post? As often as you can while keeping your quality high. For most people, that is once a day. Consistency is what builds the audience, but never sacrifice quality just to hit a number. Quality first, then volume. Next, what time should I post? Do not overthink this. People will tell you to post at exact times. It does not matter. Post anytime people are awake. What matters far more is that the time that you show up is consistent. Post daily, keep the quality high, and stop stressing about the perfect time. Your posting cadence needs to be strategic. Number 1, know your current stage. Where is your business at? Your cadence adjusts based on whether you need more awareness, trust, or conversion, right? Like we were talking about in the top, middle, and bottom of funnel pieces of content. Understand what current stage your business is at so you know what piece of content you're gonna be posting. Number 2, plan your funnel mix. Too much top of funnel, you grow, but you never convert. Too much bottom of funnel, and your page feels like a sales pitch. Every week needs a clear mix. Number 3, film before you need it. If you start posting more, you will run out of content faster. So batch film ahead of schedule so you're never scrambling. You always want to make sure that you always have a surplus of videos ready to film, so that way you're actually able to give your best energy to those videos, because if you're in a rush, you're going to be rushing through the videos. People can feel it. You want to be calm, collective, and correlated. You decide what your audience sees and when they see it. Be intentional with every post that goes out. So here's exactly how I approach it. Every week is mapped out before it starts. I know exactly which funnel stage each post serves, which day it's going out, and which platform it hits first. Nothing goes out randomly. I look at where my business is at right now and adjust accordingly. If I need more reach, I lead with top of funnel. If I need more conversions, I increase bottom of funnel. The strategy behind what goes out is just as important as the content itself. Know what your page needs this week and post that with intention. So lock in your cadence right now. What days are you posting every week? What is your current top of funnel, middle, and bottom of funnel ratio this week? What does your business need most right now? Growth, trust, or conversion? Number 4, how far ahead is your content filmed and ready to go? If you cannot answer all 4 right now, your posting is random. Pull up the free doc and lock in your weekly posting cadence before you film another piece of content. Once your cadence is locked in, the next step is what you write underneath your content, your captions. Most coaches treat captions as an afterthought. They put all their effort into the video and barely think about the caption. The caption is not a description of the video, it's a separate piece of content that works alongside with it. Never use your caption to repeat what the video was already said, what they already heard. People will not read a caption that just restates the video that they just listened to. They already got that part by watching your video. A great caption sparks a new thought, it gives a new perspective, or drives a specific action. A strong caption can turn a viewer into a client. So here are the 3 rules for every caption you write. Number 1, know the caption's job. Some captions add a new angle. Some restate the point in a different way. Decide what the specific caption is there to do before you write it. Number 2, always drive something. Every caption should spark a new thought, build a connection, or push an action. If it does none of these, rewrite it. Number 3, match the format. A voiceless video needs a caption that explains. A value-heavy video needs a shorter caption with a clear CTA. Understand what format is actually going to need what specific type of captions. Use AI to help you write your captions, guys. The right prompt makes it very fast and easy. A great caption turns a viewer into a follower. A great caption with a CTA turns a follower into a lead. Here's the difference between a bad caption and a good one. A bad caption repeats the video. In this video, I break down why personal brand is a relationship problem, not a content problem, and how to fix it. Nobody wants to read that caption because they know what you're gonna say. Nobody reads that, they just watched it. Another mistake is making it long and clearly AI written. Don't write long, drawn out captions full of dashes that obviously came from AI. People will not read a wall of text. Keep it short and pull them in a different way than the video did. A good caption adds something or drives an action. The reason most coaches stay stuck has nothing to do with how much they post. That's a statement right there. Comment system and I'll show you what it actually does. Boom, I drive a specific action. The bad one restates what the video was already talking about that they already read. The good one adds a new angle and drives an action. That is the difference. Next, let's talk about hashtags. Hashtags are optional. Some people swear by them, some people never use them. There's no right answer, it just comes down to your preference on what you want to do when you're posting. But here's the truth, honestly, most people are not searching hashtags, but they do help categorize your content so the right person searching a topic can find you. There's no downside to using them. I personally use them in my videos. I've seen them work for my clients and work for me. So there's no negative and there's only potential upside. So I'm like, why not? Use them or you don't overthink them. They're just a bonus, not a strategy. So now we're gonna show you how to write your next caption right now. Number 1 is what is the video about? What were you talking about? What things in value did you give to them? Number 2, what job does this caption need to do for this specific post? Where are you driving them to? What is the action? Number 3, does this post need a CTA, a call to action? If so, what action do you want them to take? Where do you want to guide them to? Number 4, feed the AI the transcript of your video. This is basically how you make this caption is get your video that you did, feed AI the transcript of the video that you have, and ask it for an IG caption. It already knows your brand and your voice, so it will sound like you. Keep it 1 to 3 lines max. Pull up the free doc and write out your caption process so it becomes a repeatable system every single time. The exact caption prompt is in the free doc that I have that you can go ahead and get in the description. Copy it, feed it to your transcript, and let your AI do the first draft. And then you just basically reframe it and give revisions as needed. The next step is getting your content onto every platform the right way. Instagram is your home base. YouTube is where trust gets built. Everything else is distribution. Instagram and YouTube are your most important ones. Instagram is where you build your brand, convert clients, and grow your business. YouTube is where you build deep trust at scale, one video that works for years. TikTok gets you volume but rarely gets you buyers. Facebook doubles your reach with almost no extra work since it's already connected to Instagram via Meta. YouTube Shorts can help grow your subscriber base who then get fed your long-form content. The rule is always the same. Build for Instagram first and YouTube, then distribute everywhere else. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be consistent where it counts and present everywhere else. So here's exactly how I distribute. Instagram and YouTube are where the money is, and everything else is amplification. Everything I create starts on Instagram. That is where I build the relationship and grow the audience. From Instagram, I push people to YouTube where the serious ones go in deep, they spend more time with me, and they build the kind of trust that leads to a conversion. Conversion can happen on both platforms. Instagram converts through DMs and CTAs, and YouTube converts through depth and application links in the description. I go all in on Instagram and YouTube, and everything else is just a bonus. So map out your platform strategy right now. Number 1, what is your home base? Is Instagram your primary focus? Number 2, are you posting consistently on YouTube, your long form trust asset? Basically, this is what I'm building right now. This is going to be my long form trust asset for my actual YouTube video, and that I'm able to send people to and help them get closer and give them a ton of value. So you want to have one of these built out for your page. Number 3, what platforms are you currently repurposing to with no extra effort? If you have Metricool, you're able to simply post on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff with no extra effort with just a click of a button. Number 4, are you pushing your Instagram audience to your YouTube channel, right? You're getting these people, getting all this attention, but now you want them to build even more trust than the short form reels are doing, then push them over to your YouTube and build your YouTube channel. 5, where is your ICP spending the most time? Are you showing up there? Figure out where exactly that ideal client is, where they're showing up, and making sure that you pour as much value and knowledge and leadership and guide them correctly the way where they're at. Pull up the free doc right now and map out your full platform strategy right now. Next is the consistency systems. Remember, motivation will not keep you consistent, but a system will. Most coaches rely on motivation to post. The problem is that motivation runs out. Some weeks you feel like it, some weeks you don't. Then the second life gets busy, you just stop posting. And so the people who actually stay consistent are not more disciplined than you. They just build a system that makes them showing up like automatic. The content is already filmed ahead, the week is already scheduled before it starts, and there's no daily decision to make. When the work is already done in advance, consistency is not something you have to force, but it's instead something that you get to do. Build the system once, then consistency takes care of itself. So here are the 3 systems that keep you consistent. Number 1, schedule in advance. Use Metricool to schedule every post before the week starts. You never post in the moment, everything is planned and queued. Number 2, batch your content. You want to film multiple pieces in one session so you always have content ready. You should never be scrambling to post something today. You should never be filming one video a day. Today I'm going to film the video that I'm going to post today. Have it already batched out and pre-recorded. Number 3, track your data. Use Metricool for an overview, but for the most accurate numbers, go straight to the social app itself and check each video analytics. Third-party tools can lag, but the app is always the most up-to-date, so you're able to see, okay, what is my audience most liking? The coaches who win are not the ones with the most skills, they're the most consistent. That is the only advantage that you really need. So here is how all 3 of these work together for me. First, every week my content is scheduled before it starts. I use Metricool to queue everything in advance, what is going out, what date, and what platform. Next, my content is batched, so I never film the same day I need to post. And my captions are written with AI, so each one takes under 1 minute. Very easy to do because I feeded the transcript of my video. By the time Monday starts, everything for the week is already done. And I'm not thinking about what to post, I'm only thinking about how to keep improving what I create. You set this up once and you run it every week and everything stays handled. So build your consistency system right now. Are you scheduling your content in advance or posting in the moment? Are you batch filming your content or are you posting the same day? Where are you tracking your data to see what is working? And then 4, is your full week planned before it starts? Pull up the free doc and set up your consistency systems right now. The goal is to have your whole week ready before it even starts. All right, guys, stage number 5 is going to be talking about conversion. This is where your audience actually becomes income. These are going to be the 4 steps of conversion. We're going to be going over the DM strategy, how to turn conversions into book calls without being pushy. Number 2, application funnel, the system that filters serious people before they reach out. 3, sales call framework, how to run a call that closes without feeling salesy. And number 4, building trust at scale. Staying top of mind with people who are not ready yet. The first step is your DM strategy, and the biggest shift is understanding this. The sale starts long before the DM. By the time someone messages you, the trust is either already there or it's not. Most coaches treat the DM as the beginning of the relationship. It's not. The DM is the result of everything you have built before it. Your content, your profile, your consistency, your credibility. The relationship was already built. The trust was already earned. All that is left is the conversation. You must learn to stop being transactional and start being relational. You can smell commission breath through the screen, so can your prospects. So what I mean by this is that as you start to go around the conversion cycle, people tend to be extremely transactional. And so that scares people away. That gets people to be, okay, cool, like I'm backing off. I already see what he's trying to do here. But you want to be relational instead. You want to actually build a relationship with these people. Like we're saying, everything is about relationships. Everything is about making and advancing that relationship and that trust forward. So we're going to be going over like how to be more relational in your sales and stop being so transactional. And I said right here, prospects can smell it through the screen. It's like commission breath. People can smell it that like, okay, cool, this dude, all he wants is a sale. So there's 3 types of people that will DM DM you. Number one is cold. They just found you, they know little about you, they approach with curiosity, and you want to build the relationship before anything else. Two is warm audience. They have been watching you, they follow you, they engage with their content, they already have some trust, but this you want to start the conversation naturally. Number three, inbound. They reach out first. They're already interested. Your only job is to qualify them and guide them to the next step. Each type requires a different approach. The mistake most coaches make is treating all three the same way. That's why their conversions go cold. Know who you're talking to before you send the first message. That changes everything. Now, here's what separates coaches who make a little from coaches who make a lot. It comes down to how long you are willing to stay in the conversation. So I'm gonna explain to you guys and show you a demonstration right now of the funnel right here that I'm talking about. We have the big money funnel versus the little money funnel. And most coaches are stuck in the little money funnel. Here is why. Most coaches follow up for 1 to 3 days and move on. That's the little money funnel. The coaches who win stay in the relationship for months and sometimes years. That is the big money funnel. Here's what the difference looks like. Let me show you. So as I was saying, the little money funnel right here, as you guys see, I told you that people will follow up for the same day and then they'll do 1 to 3 days follow up and then they end and then they start over and then they never get the sale and they just repeat this over and over and over again. They're in a cycle, they're in a loop of where they're at. And so the big money funnel is the same day, but then 3 days and then they follow up for 1 to 2 weeks and then 1 to 3 months and then 3 to 6 months and then a year and then they become a client. Deals stack with momentum. The longer you stay in the relationship, the more certain the deal becomes. The person that is in here has no authority, has no conviction, and has no belief in themselves because honestly, they're not continuing to follow up in here. Most people don't even want to get into here because they're too arrogant. Guys, you never know what certain people are going through in their situations. Everybody has different timings and different places and different things happening in their life that might not make them the qualified prospect that they need to be in that same day or that 3 days, but they might be ready for you in 3 to 6 months. They might be ready for you in a year. They might be ready for you in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You don't know, but you need to make sure that you continue to stay top in mind always as you're posting content, as you're following up with them, and making sure that you're doing intentional follow-up. That is not the same thing over and over again, so that way you're able to give them something. You always want to give something. Don't be asking to receive something. Always give something before you receive. Give 10 times more than you receive, and you'll see by the time they see you following up so diligently for 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, or over a year, they will understand and see like, wow, this guy is committed to his journey, and you built basically trust with them to understand that they've never seen anybody like that, that's been able to do that, that's been able to stay consistent, and that's been able to continue following up with them because you show them that you actually care about them and actually helping them rather than the money itself. And so many people are just so tied into the money and getting that and let me do this and let me do that. Nobody wants to build a relationship and actually helps the people. And that is actually what's going to get that person to want to move forward because I understand that your commitment and that your vision and your focus on something else rather than the money, what everybody else is chasing. So this is very, very important. You want to make sure that the follow-up is just boom, 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 boom. Be diligent. Never, ever give up. So how do you follow up for months without being annoying? You need to get creative. Regular follow-up stops working fast. They start ignoring you or already know what you're going to say. So you have to keep finding new ways to add value to them. This is where you do what other people are not willing to do. So send voice notes, send a personalized video, send an email, engage on their stories, and when it matters, go further than a DM, send something to their business, their home, send something like a gift. No one's willing to do this. This is what separates you from every other person in their inbox. The goal is never the sale, but it is to genuinely pour into them so they feel how much you care about their success. And time it right. Too often you annoy them and you burn it out. Too spaced out and they forget about you. Hit them with real value at the right moments. People can feel the difference between someone chasing a sale and someone who actually cares. You want to be that someone that actually cares. So step one, you want to open the conversation the right way. Whether someone is cold or warm, the opener is the same energy. Relational, never transactional. You start a relationship, not a sale. So never open with a pitch. Open with genuine interest in them. A few ways to start that naturally is to comment on something they posted or something on their page reply to their story with a real reaction, or ask them about what they're working on right now. Keep it low energy and human, no long paragraphs they will never read. The goal of the first message is simple: start a real conversation. People can feel when you actually care versus when you want something. Lead with care. Step 2, you want to uncover the pain. Once the conversation is going, your job is to understand them, not to pitch them. If you do not know the real pain, you end up solving the wrong problem. Ask, then listen. Let them talk. So here are 3 types of questions to get you there. First, the goal. Understand where they are at now. How is your business looking, you can say. How are you currently getting clients? Understand where they're at. What's their goal? Figure that out. Number 2, problem. Find the friction. What is the hardest part about your business right now? If someone can remove one bottleneck, what would it be? Find out what they're struggling with that's not allowing them to get to that goal that they want to get to. Then, consequence. Make the pain real. How has that been affecting you? What happens if nothing changes in the next 3 months? After you ask, stay quiet, let the silence pull the truth out. They will let you know. You cannot fix what you do not understand. The better you understand them, the faster they trust you. Step 3 is to build trust. Once they open up about the problem, the next step is not to pitch them, it is to prove. People do not buy from someone they do not trust yet. So here are 3 ways to build it. First, show proof. Do not just say it, show it. Drop in a quick screenshot of before or after. We fixed that exact issue for a client last week. Let proof feel like context, not bragging. So show them that you actually know what you're talking about, that you were able to help certain people in your exact situation. Stay calm. Keep your responses short and decisive. If you sound rushed, they feel unsafe. If you sound calm, they trust your control. Make it about them. You said you were burning hours on client management. That is exactly what this fixes. Connect their pain to your solution, not to your story. People follow your lead when they feel seen, when they feel understood, when they feel safe. So you want to make sure that you are showing that proof, you're staying calm, and you're keeping it about them. Step 4, this is when you transition to the call. Once they trust you, the call is literally just the next obvious step in the sales cycle. It's not a pitch. You're not asking permission. You are offering clarity. You're giving them guidance. Hey, do this. First, acknowledge where they are stuck. Sounds like you're stuck in a delivery mode and cannot scale because of the back end is not built yet. Then connect their pain to the solution. That is exactly what we fix. If you want, I can walk you through what that would look like for your setup. Then book it. Drop the link with context, what time works best this week. Once they pick a time, confirm it, perfect, we will get you confirmation, and then see you then. Then the day of the booking, send one simple confirmation, excited to dive into this later, something like that. The booking the call is not just about convincing, but you defining the problem, you earn the trust, and now you lead them. So here's how I approach every conversation. People think like good closers are just good closers, but you need to think about a good closer is a good opener. Whoever can open the conversation is a good closer because they get the most opportunities. The person who breaks the ice and builds a relationship is the person who gets the close. I never open with a pitch. I never open with a service. I open with genuine curiosity. Where are you from? What are you working on? How is it going? I build a conversation naturally before I even transition towards anything business related. When I qualify, I ask questions that help me understand if I can actually help them, not questions decide to close them. If they are a fit, I add value first to them. I give them a resource, I give them a voice note, something that proves I know what I'm talking about. Then I transition towards a call naturally. It's not forced, it's not salesy, it's just the obvious next step in their situation. Stop selling and start connecting. The close will always take care of yourself when you move like this. So let's build your DM system right now. Number 1, how do you open a conversation with someone cold who has never heard of you? Number 2, how do you open a conversation with someone warm who already follows you? Number 3, what questions will you ask to uncover their real pain? Number 4, how will you show proof and build trust in the conversation? So pull up the free doc and write out your full DM flow opener. Pain, trust, and calls so you have it ready before your next conversation. The next step is your application funnel. The system that filters serious people before they even reach out to you. Not everyone who wants to work with you should work with you. Qualifying the client is just as important as a client qualifying you. Taking on the wrong client is the fastest way to drain your energy, your time, and your focus. A bad client will cost you more money. They cost you the mental space to serve your best clients well. The application funnel exists to filter before the call ever happens. By the time someone gets on the call with you, they should already be pre-qualified, pre-sold, and ready to move on. Your time is too valuable for anything else. Amateurs chase anyone who shows interest. Professionals qualify before they invest a single minute. Your application funnel has 3 jobs. Number 1, filter. Remove people who are not a fit before they ever get on a call with you. This is talking about budget, their commitment level, their readiness, all qualified up front. Number 2, pre-sell. By the time they finish filling out the application, they should already believe in what you do. The questions themselves build that desire. Number 3 is track. Every application syncs to a Google Sheet. You see every lead, every response, every data point, and nothing falls through the cracks. The right application turns a cold lead into a warm prospect before you ever say a word. So here's how to build it the right way. The goal is to collect what matters without losing them halfway through. Too many questions and they disengage before they finish. Keep it tight and optimized for completion. So ask in this order from easy to specific. First, get their contact info, their name, their number, their email, their Instagram handle. Then get general info, their location and age. Then get their niche info, what they do, their experience, their current struggles. Then talk about their money. What are they making right now? What do they want to make? And what are they willing to invest? And then results, why they think they would be a good fit for your program. Start easy and you can get more specific as you go, but keep it tight as it needs to be. You want to make sure that it's very condensed, and you can always use this and allocate data to see what's working, see what's not, and mix and match these all around. So here's what my application asks. I reach out within 5 minutes of every application. The moment someone reaches out, I reach out within 5 minutes. The moment they hit submit is the highest point of interest. Don't let that window close. My application is built to qualify and pre-sell them at the time. It collects their contact details, where they're at now and what they are stuck on, their goals and what they have already tried, their budgets and readiness, and why they think they're a good fit. Every question has a job. Budget qualifies financially, goals qualify alignment. What they have tried tells me how coachable they are, and by the time I read it, I already know if I want to get on a call with them or not. So build your application funnel right now. Number 1, does your application qualify for budget and readiness? Number 2, does it ask what they have already tried and why did it not work? Number 3, does it ask why they think they're a good fit? This is very important because not everyone that comes to you is a right fit for you. You want to audit your clients just how people will audit you. Number 4, does it connect to a Google Sheet so every lead is tracked? Number 5, what is your follow-up time after someone applies? How long do you take to reach out to them once they show interest? Do you take a day? Do you take 2 days? Do you take 5 hours? What do you do? If you don't have a Typeform set up, that's the next move after this video. Do not take a single sales call without one. Get on your Typeform and list out your questions. So pull up the free doc right now and map out every single question in your application right now. Once someone passes your application, the next step is the call. And the call works completely different than most people think. A call is a diagnosis, not a pitch to them. When you understand the real problem clearly enough, the close becomes the obvious next step. Most coaches go into the sales call trying to convince someone to buy. That is the wrong energy. The best closers talk 20 to 30% of the time. The prospect talks the rest. Your job is to ask the right questions, understand the real problem, and then show them exactly how you solve it. When it is done right, the prospects close themselves and you're just the guide. Objections are not rejections. They are beliefs. Your job is not to overcome them. It is to help the person overcome them themselves. You're just the messenger. You're just the guide. So here are the 5 steps of every single call. Number 1 is the intro. First thing you want to do is set the frame. You want to small talk with them. You want to build rapport and you want to let them know exactly what the call will cover. Number 2 is fact find. Ask questions, understand their situation, their goals, their struggles, and what has already stopped them. Number 3 is present. Show them exactly how you solve their specific problem and connect your system directly to their pain. Number 4 is the close. Pitch the investment. Stay quiet, let them respond, do not oversell. Stay calm, collective, and handled. Number 5, then you're going to handle the beliefs, which is like the objections. If they have any concerns, address them with clarity and confidence. Never get defensive. Report is loading up your clip like in a gun. The close is just pulling the trigger. And if the report is built right, then the close is very easy. Always remember, guys, that 100% of the money is made in the last 10% of the call. Everything before that is preparation. So if you have everything prepared beforehand, the close should be very easy because you know exactly how to hit them in those last 10% of the call, because the whole 90% of the call you were able to get all this information and load up the clip, and now you're able to spray it down. So this is how you open and diagnose on the call. Start with real rapport. Be a human first. Hey, how's it going? You are based in XYZ place, right? How are you liking it out there? Keep it light and genuine. Let them settle in before anything else. Then set the frame calmly. Something like, cool, let's get into it. I'll learn where your business is at, walk you through how I work, and if it makes sense, we'll talk about working together. Sound good? Then diagnose and find the real bottleneck, not surface problems. Let them talk. What made you want to hop on this call today? How are you getting clients right now? What is the hardest part of your business day to day? Then peel deeper with why and what makes that tough. You want to connect every problem back to a missing system. The more clearly they describe their pain, the easier the close becomes. listen more than you talk. This is how you handle any objection. Objections are not rejection. They are uncertainty. If they book the call, they already want your help. Your job is to find what is unclear and clarify it to them. Every objection comes down to one of these three things. They don't believe you can solve it, they don't believe that they can do it, and then they don't believe that now is the right time. Your job is to find which one it is and reframe it with calm and logic. Never get defensive. So, for example, let's say it's too expensive. Okay, how you handle this, is it the price or is it the cost of staying where you're at? What is the problem costing you every month it goes unfixed? Let them know that the price is not actually the cost that they're doing. How much is it costing them being stuck where they're at right now? How much potential could they have if they truly unlock that? I need to think about it. Totally fair. What do you want to get clarity on? The system, the price, or the timing? Then handle that. Understand exactly what they need to think about. It's pretty simple. What do you need to think about? Number 3, I need to talk to my partner. Makes sense. Want to bring them into a quick follow-up call so they can get the full picture, or you can also ask in the beginning of the call, are all the decision makers on this call today? So you are able to already pre-handle objections so you know you're not going to get that. The best closers do not talk people into anything. They help them make the decision they have already been delaying. So this is how you present and close. Once you understand their pain, present the close that matches it. Connect it directly to what they told you. So based on everything you said, here is what I would do for you. Walk them through your system and tie it to a result a past client got with the same exact problem. Then close with clarity, not pressure. Lead them to the decision. How does that all sound? Any questions? Then go quiet. Let them respond. If they hesitate, go back to reasoning, not defending. Re-clarify what is unclear. When they say yes, lock it in there, collect the payment, or send the contract on the call. Do not leave it open-handed. Then congratulate them, stay calm, and lead them into the next step. Sales is not convincing. It is diagnosing, reframing, and leading. Done right, the close is effortless. Now let's talk about how to collect the money. A smooth payment process keeps the momentum going and builds confidence. A messy one kills the trust you just spent the whole call building, so have this ready before you ever get on. The goal is to collect on the call within a few minutes of them saying yes. That is when their belief is the highest, so you never wanted to leave it for later or let that energy fade. Keep a couple of options ready so paying is easy. A normal card processor, a buy now, pay later option, so the price itself is never what stops the right person from starting. Then send a simple contract right after. It makes the deliverables clear and everything official. So you're gonna get paid on the call, you're gonna send the contract right after and keep the momentum going the whole way through. So here is how I run every call. This is a format I love to live by. If they like you, they will listen. If they listen to you, they will believe you. And if they believe you, they will buy. Build in that order. You must get them. This is why it's very important to go in that order. You must first understand who they are, get to know them so they like you, then they'll listen to you, then they'll believe from you, and then they'll buy you. I start with small talk. Where are you from? What do you do? I want them comfortable before we get into anything. Then I set the frame. I let them know that I'm going to ask them questions, explain what I do, and if it sounds like we're a fit, we'll talk about what it looks like to work together at the end. Then I ask everything. What are you doing right now? What is your biggest bottlenecks? What have you tried? What does the next 6 months look like if nothing changes? Then by the time I present my offer, I already know exactly what they need and show them because the brain conversion system solves it directly. Then I let them know the investment and let them make their own choice. Remember guys, sales is a transfer of energy. Show up with confidence and belief in what you do. That alone closes more deals than any script ever will. So prepare for your next sales call right now. Number 1, do you have a clear frame set at every start of the call? Number 2, what questions do you ask to uncover the real problem? Number 3, how do you connect your system directly to their specific pain? Number 4, how do you present the investment without overselling? Number 5, what are the 3 most common beliefs you hear and how do you address them? Walk through the 5 steps before every single call. The more you run the framework, the more natural it becomes. Repetition is the mother of skill. Always remember that. So pull up the free doc right now and write out your full sales call framework. Next is going to be building trust at scale. The easiest sales happen when someone already trusts you before they reach out. Here's how you make that happen every single time. The sale starts the first time someone watches your content. Not on the call, not on the DM, the first time that they see you. Every piece of content you post is either building trust or it's not. Every story sequence, every reel, every highlight, every pinned post. All of it is working together to move someone from not knowing you exist to being ready to pay you. By the time they fill out your application, the trust should already be there. The call should feel like a conversation between 2 people who already know each other. This is what a real personal brand does. It builds relationships before the conversation ever starts. Remember, the bigger the brand that you build, the less work you have to do in the DMs. A little goes a long way when the trust is already built. That's why it's so important to have a personal brand, because the less work you're gonna have to do with these people, because they trust you and they see you as the authority and the obvious choice for their exact problem. Every touch point builds or breaks trust. So number one, your content. Does every post move someone closer to trusting you or further away? Are you showing your values? Are you showing the things that you're doing in your life? Are you showing things that are gonna be taking people away from you, not associating things for your life that you want to do? Are you influencing the wrong way? Figure that out on your content. You want to be always the example for them. You want to be the authority. You want to be the person that they look up to and want to learn from. Number two, your profile. Does someone land on your page and immediately know who you are, what you do, and why they should listen to you? Number three, your highlights. Does your Start Here highlight take someone from curious to convicted? Number four, your DMs. Are you leading with value and relationships, or are you just commission breath and looking for the next sale? Number five, your consistency. Are you showing up every single day so you stay top of mind of your followers? Remember, if they like you, they'll listen to you. If they listen to you, they'll believe you. If they believe you, they'll buy from you. Every touch point moves someone through that sequence. You control how fast they move through it. Trust is not built on one post. Remember that. It is built in the accumulation of everything you do over time. So here's what the full journey looks like. You are not just posting content, but you are building a system that earns trust and creates clients on its own. Someone sees one of your reels, they land on your profile, and the bio tells them exactly who I help and what I do. Then they click on the Start Here highlight and they watch my story. They see my client results and they watch my 3-pin posts. And by the time they DM me, they already know who I am, what I do, and why it works. They have been through the whole journey without me saying a single word directly to them. That is what a real personal brand does. It does the selling before you ever speak to them. Build every touch point intentionally. You want to build every single touch point intentionally. Your brand is either working for you or against you. There is no in between. So audit your trust journey right now. Number one, does your content move people closer to trusting you with every post? Number two, when a cold visitor lands on your profile, does it move them towards becoming a warm lead? Number three, does your Start Here highlight turn a stranger into someone who believes in you? Number four, are your DMs building relationships or pushing transactions? Number five, are you showing up consistently enough to stay on top of mind? If any of these are broken, you now know exactly where your leads are falling off. Fix the weakest touch point first. Pull up the free doc, audit your full trust journey right now, and be honest where it is breaking down. Alright guys, we're on the last and final stage, stage number 6, authority. This is what true authority actually requires. So there's 4 parts to actually turn your personal brand into the voice of your space. Number 1, reading data. How to read your numbers and let them guide what you create. Number 2, long form. Using long form content to build deep trust at scale. Number 3, building your team. Removing yourself so the brand grows beyond you. And then number 4, the long game. Why patience and consistency are what builds lasting authority. So the first part of authority is learning to read your data, because the numbers tell you what your audience will not say directly to you. Most people make emotional decisions about their content. They kill a video because it felt like it underperformed, and they double down on a format because one got viral. Neither one of those is a strategy. Data is the only thing that tells you the truth about what is actually working, not your feelings. Not what performed for someone else, your data. What your specific audience is responding to, what is driving profile visits, what is getting saves and shares, what is converting followers into leads. When you read your data correctly, you never have to guess again on what's working. Stop making emotional decisions and let the numbers tell you exactly what to do next. So here are the metrics that actually matter. So number 1, profile visits. Are people going to your page after watching? This is the most important number, seeing how many people from each of your videos are actually clicking and going to your profile. And then some people either will click onto your profile and then follow you, or they'll just follow you directly from the reel or from the short form content that they've seen, or from a YouTube video, they'll just subscribe or whatnot. Number 2 is follows. Are profile visits converting into followers? Do people land on your profile and then they convert into followers? You'll be able to correlate that if people are actually really converting or not. 3, shares. Is your content resonating enough for people to send it to other people? Number 4 is saves. Are people saving your content to come back to it, okay, I want to save this for later, this is very good. 5, comments. Are people engaging enough to leave a response? 6, views. The least important metric, views without profile visits means nothing. Compare your content against itself, not against someone else. You want to figure out what's getting you the most profile visits. How many people are coming into your page? How many people are following you? How many people are sharing your stuff? How many people are saving your stuff? How many people are commenting on your stuff? You want to find the pattern in your best performing post and do more of those. So here's how I read my data. Every week I look at my last post that I posted that week and ask 3 questions. Which one got the most profile visits and follows? What do those posts have in common? And what am I going to do more of this week? What do I need? I don't want to look at views first. I look at what actually moved people to my page and converted them into followers. I pull up my analytics to see exactly where people dropped off in each video. If people are leaving early, it tells me something needs to change either in the hook, the topic, or how I open the conversation. Or if they leave in halfway through, my content needs to be tighter and the data tells me everything. You want to make decisions based on logic, not emotion. Not trends, not what worked for someone else, but your data every single time. So here is what you want to do when you're reading your insights on Instagram. So first thing is profile visits, the number that actually matters the most. How many people your content pushed to your page? So for example, if we see this, and this was a certain reel, right? One of my clients got 11,000 profile visits. That's very, very good. Follows, how many turned into followers? This is conversion. So we actually got more followers than profile visits. So that tells us there was about right here, 7,000 people, more people that basically just followed, and now we're able to nurture them because they're in our ecosystem. And number 3, bio link taps. This is the deepest action people are going to your link. So here's what to focus on and what to ignore. Saves and shares are your strongest signals, and people keeping it on and passing it on. So shares and saves right here, these are, as you guys can see, these are very, very good, but we also have a ton of likes. So here's what to focus on and what to ignore. This specific video got 116,000 likes. It got comments. It looks like the majority of these, it got the least amount of comments. But as you guys see, these shares and saves are very uncommon. This is a very, very good ratio for people doing this. And then repost, 3,000 people reposted. But just seeing that how many people shared this specific video and saved this specific video means that it was very, very valuable. Likes is the weakest signal. They're nice, but it means the least on its own. These ones are the most important ones. Likes feel good, but profile visits, follows, and saves are what actually tells you your content is working. So audit your data right now. Look at your last 10 posts and which ones got the most profile visits and followers. What do those posts have in common? What format are they in? How is your energy? How is your delivery on those videos? 3, which posts got the most shares and saves? 4, where are people dropping off in your videos and what does that tell you? 5, what will you do differently this week based on what the data is showing you? Pull up Instagram Insights right now and find the pattern in your best performing pieces of content. That pattern is your next move. So get on the free doc and write down what the data is telling you and what you're going to change this week. The second part of authority is long form, the content that builds the deepest trust of them all. One great YouTube video builds more trust than months of short form content because it gives them something that short form will never be able to give them. A reel gives someone 30 to 60 seconds to hear you and listen to what you're gonna say, but a YouTube video gives them like 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how long this YouTube video, this right here is a crazy long video, so you're getting lots and lots of trust in here. By the time they hear your story, your beliefs, your system, your examples, and your proof, by the end they feel like they actually know you. That feeling of knowing someone is what drives people to buy. Short form creates awareness and long form creates conviction. You need both, but long form is where deep trust gets built. A great YouTube video also lives forever. It's not a post that dies in 48 hours. It is an asset that brings in leads years from now. That is what I call your centralized YouTube asset. One complete video that holds your entire story, system, and proof in one place, which is what you're watching right now. Your centralized YouTube asset needs to do 5 things. First, tell your story, who you are, where you came from, and why you built this system. 2, show your system. Walk them through the stage, every single thing in depth, and give everything away. 3, prove it works. Show actual clients the results they got and how their business changed. 4, handle objections. Address every doubt before the prospect ever gets on the call. And then 5, drive action. Get a clear CTA at the end that tells them exactly what they need to do next. The video you're watching right now is the example of what I'm building right now. This is what a centralized YouTube asset looks like in action. You build it once and you let it do work for you forever. So here's mine. The video you're watching right now is my centralized YouTube asset. Like I said, everything I know about building personal brands is in this video. My story, my system, my client results, my CTA, all in one place. And this is the video I drive all my traffic to. Every reel, every story, every post goes back into this video. This is the hub and everything else feeds it. This video is your most important business asset and you need to treat it that way. So plan your centralized YouTube asset right now. So number 1, what is the title of your video? Does it speak directly to your ICP, what they're searching for? Number 2, does it tell your story? Show your system, prove it works, and drive action. Number 3, how are you driving traffic from Instagram to this video? 4, is this video live yet? If not, what is stopping you? This video is the most important piece of content you will ever create for your business. Everything else supports it. Nothing is going to replace this. So pull up the free doc right now and plan your centralized YouTube asset right now. It doesn't necessarily need to be a YouTube video, but some type of free value that you want to be able to give to them, because you are giving them. Remember, in the DMs, you're always giving them, you're giving them, and building that relationship. And if you want to build a relationship with them, you need to build trust with them. You need to get them to know that you are the obvious right choice for them. So you need to give something. You need to have some type of free asset to give them in exchange. For example, this is mine right here. You could build this out as well. The third part of authority is building your team, because you cannot scale a brand alone. At some point, you cannot do everything yourself. It's just the truth. You should not be trying to do everything as well. The goal is to protect your energy for the things only you can do, the ideas, the delivery, and the relationships. Everything should be handled by someone better suited for it. For example, editing, scheduling, setting appointments, fulfilling for clients. These are all things that can be delegated, and when you hold on to them yourself, you are choosing the wrong task. You are spending your most valuable resource, your time, on things that do not require your unique skill. The bigger your brand, the less you should be doing yourself. Build the team that lets you focus on what actually matters. So here are the 5 roles that you need to scale your business. Number 1 is an editor. This is the first thing that you should find. You film and they cut. Your content stays consistent without you ever touching your calendar. Number 2, a setter. Fills your calendar with qualified conversations and handles inbound and outbound DMs. Guys, you actually don't need a setter or a closer, a CSM or operator, any of this stuff in the very beginning of the stages, because you just don't have enough traction yet and you should be doing it yourself. And number 3 is a closer. They're gonna run sales calls when your calendar is too full to take them yourself. 4 is a CSM, which is a client success manager, and they're gonna handle fulfillment and client communications under your guidance. And 5 is an operator. They manage the backend systems, track metrics, and keeps everything running without you. But remember, you don't need all 5 in one day. Hire in the order that buys back your most valuable time first. Most of these come later in your business journey, but just start with the editor first and then add the rest only when the volume actually demands it. You guys can get editor, you guys can get a video reviewer, and you guys can get like a video scheduler, so you don't really got to worry about that stuff. And then you can move on to like some of the sales side in the fulfillment side. So here's how I think about it. The first thing I delegated was editing, and then that bought back hours every single week and immediately went into my content creation and my client relationships. The second thing was scheduling and distribution. Once that was handled, I stopped thinking about posting and started thinking about what to create. Every time I delegate something, I ask one question: does this require my specific skill, or can someone else do it better? If the answer is someone else can do it better, I go find that person. But my job is to protect my energy for the things only I can do. Hire people who are better than you at their specific role. Your team reflects your brand. Who you bring on represents you to every client you serve. You're not just building a business, you are building a team that represents what you stand for. So build your team roadmap right now. Number 1, what task is stealing most of your time and your energy right now? Number 2, what role would buy back the most of your valuable time first? Number 3, do you have an editor handling your content, or are you still doing it yourself? Number 4, what is the one role you will hire first? You cannot scale what you refuse to let go. The moment you delegate the right things, everything escalates. Just because you think that you are the best at what you do and this and that and I'm the best. No, there's always someone better out there that you could delegate, and that's what you're able to do and build your team, because you want to focus on truly only the things that you can focus on. So pull up the free doc right now and map out your team roadmap right now. Who are you going to hire first and when? And the final part of authority is the long game. It is the one thing that separates the people who make it from the people who don't. Most coaches quit right before it compounds. They want to put in 90 days of real work and stop because the numbers are not where they want them to be yet. Building a personal brand takes longer than most people want it to. More time than they planned, more energy than they expected, more consistency than they thought they had. The ones who never make it want the results in 90 days. The ones who build a 6 to 7 figure brand commits to 12 months and let the results compound from there. They're not tied and associated with, okay, my brand needs to be at XYZ point at this specific time, because you never know. You're not in control of the outcomes. Remember, you only control the inputs that you put in consistently. Every post, every story, every video, every DM, it all will stack and all compound like a snowball effect. The ones who keep going while everyone else stops are the ones who win. Time is going to pass anyway, so who are you going to be? You don't need more talent. You don't need more luck. You need to decide that you're not going to be stopping. So what the long game actually looks like. Number 1, 30 days. This is you posting for 30 days consistently, and you're building the habit. The content is getting out there and the foundation is getting locked. Then to the 90 days, you start to see traction. Followers are going, conversions are starting. At 6 months, the system is running and inbound leads are coming in and the brand is becoming known. At 12 months, everything compounds. The content that you posted in 1 month is still working and the brand is an asset that you currently have. And then 5 is beyond. This is who coaches who make it past 12 months, past a year, building something that lasts for years. Content is like popcorn. It builds up slowly, but you keep that heat on. And then one day everything will pop at once, but you need to stay consistent until it does. So here's what I'm committed to. I decided I was not stopping. Regardless of the numbers, regardless of what was performing and what was not. Some weeks nothing moved, but I kept on going because every piece of content I posted was building something. Trust, relationships, or authority, even when I cannot even see it happening. The brand compounds in the background, whether you can measure it or not. You just have to stay faithful to the mission. God controls the outcomes and you control the inputs. Stay obedient to the process and trust that everything is being built even when you cannot see it. Decide right now that you're going to be one of the ones who keeps on going, and that decision alone will separate you from the most. Number 1, what does showing up every day for 12 months look like for you? What are you going to need to do in order to make that happen? 12, what does your brand and business look like at the end of those 12 months? Envision what do you want it to look like? How do you want this to shape? Write down everything that you have that in your inspirations of what you want to do. Number 3, what will you do on the days when nothing seems to be working? When you're not getting the followers, you're not getting the views, you're not getting the saves, you're on down on yourself. What are you going to do? Are you going to give up or are you going to keep going? Number 4, what is the reason for doing this? That's bigger than all the numbers. That's bigger than all the views. That's bigger than all that. What are you actually striving for? Are you striving for impact or are you striving for views and validation for yourself? Number 5, are you building this for the long game or are you chasing quick wins? So pull up the free doc right now and write these down. Come back to them on the hard days and understand what you wrote down and the commitment that you made today for yourself and to the people that you serve. And decide right now that you are going to be one of the ones who keeps on going. So guys, we just went over the brand conversion system right there. I'm going to show you exactly how this was able to help my clients live in real time. So Tessa, remember, she started with 0 audience, and by the 90 days that she implemented the system, she had 8 million plus views and she grown over 35,000 followers. And then she opened up her offer, the optimization protocol. She started selling it, getting money, and start building a business. And tell you, from this beginning of this 90 days, from this start of 0, she literally had no social media following. She had no offer. She was working with her clinic, and now she loves what she does. She's getting millions of views and getting paid to teach what she loves. So here's what we actually fixed. So stage 1, this is the foundation. We figured out, all right, we need to have a sharp positioning from the number 1, day 1. We got her a unique POV in her niche and a profile built to convert immediately. Then stage 2, the content system. We helped her build pillars around her ICP, in-demand topics in hormone health because she's in the health and wellness space and like anti-aging, longevity, all that stuff. And we built a funnel from cold viewers to warm buyers. Stage number 3 is production. We showed her how to batch film, how to actually script videos, and we showed her the real workflow from day 1 that she needs to in order to start this whole thing A to Z. She did not have an audience, but she had a system. That is why she went from 0 to 8 million views in 90 days. The system did the work before the audience ever existed. Remember, guys, you don't need an audience first. You need a system in order to implement this, and then the audience will come. Because you could get the audience and do this, but if it doesn't correlate, you won't be able to make the money that you want to do. You won't be able to make the impact that you want to do, and you won't be able to build it correctly. You want to build it correctly from the start, so that way all these eyeballs and all these attention, right, you're able to capture them efficiently and actually do what your personal brand was made to do. Then Mark Jennison. So Mark Jennison had an ad-reliant business, and then he moved into organic inbound. All he was doing was posting ads. He wasn't posting anything on organic social media. And so we helped him get started on that. He started, right, posting. We got a video with him for 1.4 million views. He texted us one of these days that Trevor just enrolled in direct traffic, full K, 5K up front. Enrollment from the social media, which is great. He was making money from that. And then he was able to support his program and get more people into his program by selling people from these videos. So here's exactly what we fixed. So the first thing that we fixed was the foundation. We got his clear positioning. And then we got his POV on why most business owners can't stop drinking. He was basically an alcoholic coach to help business owners to stop drinking. And so we defined what that was, and we got his clear positioning, and then we built his profile to actually convert. Stage 2 is the content system. We built pillars around his expertise. We figured out what in-demand topics his ICP was actively searching for. And then we built a funnel that worked organically. Then stage 3 is the production. We showed him how to script, how to batch, and how to build real consistency as he starts to do this over and over and over again. Mark went from depending on ad spend to clients coming to him organically. Not because he spent more, but because he finally owned the relationship with his audience that he had. Remember, ads can disappear. Even your accounts on Instagram can disappear. But the relationship you built with your audience is yours, and that can never disappear. The movement that you create will never disappear. Next is the F&I team that we help, which is the finance and insurance team that we help. They're in the car dealership industry, and they're called the Assure Group. First thing that they had is no online presence. By starting to post and show them how to do all this stuff, right, they were able to get multiple thousands of views. And then they were able to launch their program and actually sell this to many, many people. So what they actually fixed, number one, is we found their sharp positioning. We found them a POV that no one else in the F&I space was talking about. And we built a profile exactly for what their ICP was looking for. Stage two, the content system. We built pillars around what F&I specific topics people wanted to hear about. We found in-demand questions our audience was searching for, and a funnel from cold viewers to warm buyers. Stage three, production. We showed them how real filming workflow works and how to build consistency doing it. And then stage four, distribution. We showed them, all right, you need to be posting here, you need to be posting here, you need to be posting here. How many times a day you need to be posting in that system that ran without them being burnt out. So they got a full team. It was 3 guys in this one team, but a team with no online presence launched a full coaching program, not by going broad, but by owning one hyper-specific niche completely. This F&I industry, there's not a lot of people in this industry, and it's very unique. But the thing is that they showed you is that people will often think, okay, my industry is so tiny that I will not be able to reach these people. But yet, if you are ultra specific about what you are doing and you are sharing what you do to those people, there are people out there looking for exactly for you to help them on your specific problem. But you are keeping it to yourself because you think that there are no people out there, but there is people searching for you. So no matter how niche and small your niche or your little segment is, there will always be people out there looking for your stuff. Your niche is never too small. If you have the skill in the system, the right buyers will find you. So here's what we do with everything you just learned. You just saw the entire system I gave you. You saw what it built for Tessa, for Mark, and the F&I team. And if a part of you wants this, but another part is hesitating, that is normal. I've heard the same thoughts from almost every coach before they started. So let me walk you through them. The first one is about money. A lot of coaches look at investing in themselves and think it costs too much. But here's what most people miss. The bigger cost is not the investment, right? It's staying the same. It is what staying the same is already costing you. Every month you keep doing the same thing is another month of a slow growth. More time and more energy, more years of figuring it out alone when you could have moved so much faster with the right guidance. The question is not whether or not you can afford to grow, it is what it costs you to stay exactly where you're at right now. It all really just comes down to you on how long you're willing to keep up with the situation that you're at right now. The second one is doing it alone. Some coaches want to figure it all out themselves, and I respect that. There's a lot of independent people succeed because of that exact mindset. But you can absolutely do this on your own, but just understand the trade that you're making. It took me 2 to 3 years to figure this out alone, doing this every single day full time. I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours and hours just grinding and figuring this stuff out. And I went to the moon and back with testing and testing and testing and editing and staying up all night and figuring all this stuff out. Like, I've literally spent years and years doing this. But the thing is that someone who learns from a person who has already done it gets there far faster. That is the real trade. Doing it alone costs you time, and time is the only thing you cannot get back. The third one is whether or not you even need a personal brand. Some coaches wonder if a personal brand is really necessary. The market has already answered that, you guys. The coaches making the most money almost all have one thing in common. They have a personal brand. It gives them inbound leads. It gives them pricing power. It gives them the credibility before the first call ever happens. The ones without it are stuck competing on price, chasing leads, doing cold outreach that goes nowhere. A personal brand is the difference between chasing clients and being chosen by them. Remember that the bigger the brand that you build, the less work that you need to do to nurture these people because you already have that audience and you built that. Money cannot buy that. Only repetition, only diligence, and only you sharing what you know to your people can do that through consistency, as you showing up every single day as the authority, as the go-to person, and the person that they always have on their mind 24/7. The last one is about time. Some coaches hear this and think, oh, it's going to take too long. Let me be honest with you. Building a personal brand does take time. More time than more people want, more energy than they expect, more consistency than they think they have. To be honest with you, the ones who never make it want the results now. They look at someone with 3 years of work and expect the same in months. They want the views now, they want the likes now, they want the comments now, they want the money now, they want all this stuff now, literally in the first month of posting, and they're like, bro, why am I not doing this? The ones who do make it commit to a real timeline, 6 to 12 months of running the system, and from there it compounds and it becomes much, much easier. So you have to understand the work is going to be hard. It's going to struggle sometimes, and that is exactly why people never do it. They chase quick wins instead of going deep. But the struggle is the path. So ask yourself, do you want to keep struggling where you are right now, or do the work work that actually transforms your business. And here's the part that most people miss. When you build your brand around what you genuinely love, the work stops feeling like work. You're not forcing yourself to film, you're just living your life with a camera on. That's what makes it sustainable, more relatable, more authentic, and a whole lot easier to keep going. So here's where we go from here. Those are the doubts that I hear most often. Every coach who has built something has had these same thoughts at some point. And if you made it this far, you already know what you need to do. If that is you, here's what working with me looks like. So who is this for? This is for coaches with real skill, real expertise, and real value to actually give to their people. They're not, I'm kind of good about this, I'm kind of good at this. Like, figure out what you actually want to do and provide to these people, that you actually have a genuine skill. Otherwise, if you don't have a genuine skill and you've actually haven't been able to help yourself or other people, then you're a fraud. And you're ready to stop chasing trends and finally build the brand that you want. Maybe you haven't started social media and you don't know how to do. Maybe you've already been posting on social media, but you're just not getting the results that you want and you're stuck. What it's going to require is a commitment of focus and a commitment to invest in yourself. And what you're going to get back is the full system, the 6 stages that we just walked through right now, tailored to your business with my guidance. We're going to build out the whole exact thing so you know exactly what to do. Then you're going to get weekly one-on-one access to me and our team whenever you need it. You can always hit us up, call us up. We'll be able to schedule a call and dive deep into whatever that you need help on. Next is my actual system and strategies, the same ones that I use myself and tell all my one-on-one members to use. Then a community of coaches building alongside you. You'll actually have a community and a network and an alliance of people that are all in the same mission. See what's working for them. See what's been working for this person, this person, this person. See what success they're doing. Finding out what other people are doing. You want to be in a community and aspect of people pushing for the same mission. Then a clear path. You're going to get a very clear path on exactly what to do, what you need to do on your business in order to grow it. You're going to get the inner circle guidance you need every single step of the way. If everything I laid out resonates with you and you're ready to do the work, let me show you the next step. So here's my guarantee to you. If you apply everything we teach and you do not have a personal brand generating inbound interest from your ideal clients within 6 months, we will keep working with you for free until you do, or give you a full refund. The risk is all on me. All you have to do is commit and do the work. But most of you will watch this and do nothing. You will tell yourself you'll come back when the timing is right, and 6 months from now, you'll be at the exact same place where you were today. Everyone is consuming and very few people are actually building their brands. The coaches who build 6 to 7 figure brands are not the ones with more talent, more luck, or better niches. They are simply the ones who just decide to start. The timing is never going to be perfect, so the real question is whether you decide today. So here's my invitation to you. Your skill is real, your expertise is real, but the only thing that's missing is the system to scale it. When you are ready, the application link is in the description below. I want you to fill that out, and if we're a fit, I will personally reach out to you. There's something very special that I want to give to all of you guys who made it this far into the video. I want to congratulate you. I want to give you a gift. And so if you made it to this far of the video, I want you to go ahead and comment down below best free class, and I will give you 25% off when you come to work with me, because you made it this far and you spent so much time with me learning, and you're actually very interested in growing your business and learning how to do this the right way, because you want to make sure that you're able to grow your brand properly and build the business that you've always wanted to build. But you earned it for sticking with me for this long. And that is the end of the video, guys. That is how to turn your actual skill into a 6 to 7 figure business. I want to congratulate you guys again for staying this long into the video, for being able to wanting to invest in yourself and eager to do this and expand and grow your business. And so I know this was a long video, you guys, but make sure that you guys implement everything that you need to do. I hope this helped you. I give you guys very in-depth things on what you need to do to grow exactly step by step. You should be able to take this and replicate this and never need to watch another video again. If you implement everything that I just taught you right now, your whole business and everything will transform. And like I said, there'll be people who watch this video who get inspired, who might take a couple notes, but they don't implement anything in their business and they keep delaying it and keep doing that. So if that is you, you know, all cool, wish you the best of luck. But for the people that are serious, actually implement this stuff. And if you want to work with me one-on-one to get this fully customized for your business and to get my one-on-one guidance with me and my team and have my community and have the resources that we all use, go ahead and click that link in the description, fill out the form. So I hope this was able to help you guys. Do the work and talk soon.